Every night turns into silence. I don't wanna wait for the sunrise. My vision is blurred by a million little diamonds. I don't ever wanna close my eyes. We can dance until the end. We're only about to begin. I wanna do it all over again. can't feel. I'm not gonna fall for gravity, 'cause the world will doubt, try to bring you down, but your love is real. I can see a reason to try to fight for meaning, but you give me reason to know I still have meaning. I'm not gonna fall for gravity, 'cause you lift me up when I can't feel. I'm not gonna fall for gravity. Hearing all the wasted breath, struggle with every step, and I cannot get away. But you were such a paradise, standing up a mile high. Oh, you fall to give me strength.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's good to have you guys back with us. This channel's been down for a couple of weeks here,
10
but we're
seconds
finally back up with
remaining.
some more Boston Major Open qualifiers. We're in day 2
5
of the
seconds
second set
remaining.
of games right here, and we're in the round of 16 right now. We got Chew Toy
Reserve
Reborn
time.
versus 8K, which is Lizard Stack. And this is Kairos. Once again, I'm joined by PythianLegume, who, a little turn of fortune here, he's actually doing all the production work for me today. So you're actually watching everything
Radiant
he's doing right
team
now.
ban.
And because of all that, he gets to pick all the games today. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. It's definitely a lot of fun to be able to check out these matches with you, and I hope that we're gonna have a lot of fun today.
I love checking anything out with you,
10
especially you.
seconds
Oh,
remaining.
All right, so no Omni Knight. That was interesting. I'm kind of
5
surprised that the Omni
seconds
Knight.
remaining.
It's sort of like right as he was getting ready to get over this hump and get back in the meta,
Radiant
like
team
OS Frog was
ban.
just like just swatted down the repel down to 8 seconds max, but they went ahead and banned him out anyway.
yeah. Yeah, definitely a lot of interesting bans here from both of the teams. I'm
10
actually
seconds
really interested in the
remaining.
fact that AK decided to take out the Coddle and Omni
5
Knight to start.
seconds remaining.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess the Mana Leak could be a little bit strong, but as you were talking
Reserve
about, the
time.
Coddle received nerfs, and I don't know. I guess they're just really against the heal strat from Toy.
Yeah, and it looks like they don't want to deal with. I mean, they want to basically get this OD as fat as possible. Pretty much everything that he has, except for even Sandy's Eclipse gets blocked by Repel, so they're just trying to deal with that as easily as they can. No, early Husker ban without any. Like it seems like that Husker ban was a bit unnecessary. To be honest, there's no actual like healer on. Well, okay, they've got the IO, but that's still kind of vulnerable.
Yeah, I think what they're really more worried about is the fact that you could just have a Husker IO uh, relocating around the map, and then if Toy pick up another good controller such as the Batrider or the Beastmaster, there would be a lot of trouble for AK to have to deal with here. So
Dire
they're just going to
team
try to
ban.
do away with one of those heroes that they think would be a little bit tough to deal with in this kind of situation.
Do you think they've picked Blizzard's hero yet out of these two? I mean, Sand King's pretty
Radiant
good at getting
team
in and
pick.
out and just generally fucking with whatever strategy's going on, whatever team fight's going on. Is that one of his heroes, or is he more? Do you think is going to be? Has that yet to be revealed?
Um, I think Wizard's going to be more of that lane support here, so maybe he's playing the silencer. That could be
Dire
possible,
team pick.
but I have a feeling that AK are going to go with a core silencer, so I think that Wizard still needs his hero.
All right, their Warlock. He's back in town. Seeing a lot of him. Seeing him. I don't think it's going to be mid. I think they're going to put a lot of emphasis on this OD. So Warlock
10 seconds
support
remaining.
probably.
Yeah, it
I'm
should
not sure
definitely
yet. I mean,
be
Five
Warlock
seconds
support.
remaining.
When we're looking at the True Toy lineup here, there's going to be a lot of AoE in the team fight.
Reserve
The
time.
one thing that I'm kind of seeing from this lineup, though, is the fact that these cooldowns are going to take a while. So the silence roll should be pretty much up for every single team fight. So you might not be able to see the exact combo from True Toy. Depending on when they use it, I think it could definitely be a very good counter initiation if either the Warlock or the OD get caught out.
yeah, you bring up a good point. Sand King's Epicenter will be up about the same time that the Global Silence will be up, maybe a little bit sooner, and then just follow up. But yeah, G2 are going to have to watch this. They're going to have to play more I guess they're going to have to play a little more defensively, and then just wait for the counter initiation rock drop, and then go from there, and hopefully get some work done within those 2 minute window or so. Otherwise, you're just going to have to reset. This is definitely a game of ults, that's for sure.
Yeah, they are actually such long cooldowns right now, and I'm thinking that Chutoy, they're gonna have to work around it very well. I'm still looking at them to get a hero that pairs very well with the IO. Um, I feel like they almost need two, although the OD is going to be having a lot of damage output, so they really just need something like the Batrider or the Beastmaster, which haven't
Radiant
really
team
been
pick.
banned out yet. Something that's just going to lock down, or maybe even the next assassin to get some vision of the heroes.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad. It's actually a good point. None of these guys can really. OD's kind of the exception. They can't really afford to stick their necks out
10
too far
seconds
without getting it,
remaining.
basically getting it chopped off. Bane's interesting. Kind of makes me worry about a
5
Mirana pick at this
seconds
point. They
remaining.
did get rid of the Drow, but still Mirana's. Even the fact that she's getting baby nerf after baby nerf to that
Reserve
Starstorm or the
time.
Aghanims or either combination of. Okay, there you go. There's a little bit more of a frontliner for you.
Dire team pick.
But I honestly, this is actually going to be a pretty easy game to keep a Slider up. If you put let's see, you put that Shadow Word on the IO and then have the IO tethered to him, you can get in and out quicker. And then he's got 2 big heals chaining him up, so they could actually use him for bait really often in this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more of a vision
5
game with
seconds
Chutoy now
remaining.
because the Slider really doesn't have that kind of ability of the Beastmaster to
Reserve
get some
time.
good vision of the map for those kinds of ganks with the IO. They do have a lot of lockdown with it. I think that any hero that they find is probably going to be in a lot of trouble if they can get the crush and the relocate. But I think that Chutoy might have a bit of a gimped initiation with this kind of pickup. I think it's still fine. I think we're going to see a lot of work with the amplified damage and Warlock ultimate. That's going to be working pretty well there. And of course the Slider does a ton of damage, but I
Radiant
think
team
that
ban.
AK are definitely going to be winning the vision game with this one.
You think this is Lizard's Night Stalker?
I think it definitely could be.
I'd love to see it, honestly. This seems like right up his alley. Just kind of
Actually, no,
getting in
he's,
there and
he's
just
on the
messing
Bane.
with the team.
I think he's on the Bane.
Think he's on the Bane? Okay, I could still buy that. Like you said, the Vision game just got a hell of a lot worse now. They need someone else. Slard's not necessarily the guy you want to... Like, he's usually the kind of guy who, like, follows up right after someone else kind of gets things set up. He'll just come in with the crush, maybe get the damage amp off after that. But interesting Slark ban. Doesn't seem like Slark would do very well against this current draft as it is. I mean, there's still plenty of escapes. You get the tether to get... I'm pretty sure the tether does break the pounce. And then you've got the imprisonment, you've got the crush, which of course will just counter the pounce. Doesn't seem like... Seems like only Warlock's vulnerable to Slarks. But, you know, they get rid of the life stealer too, so... Kind of makes me think they want to go with a strength hero, maybe a Sven?
Yeah, it could be a Sven. They need something that's going to get rid of the Warlock Golem pretty quickly and also can man mode up against the Slider. I think that the Warcry is going to be very good with the armor that it provides this team. They're going to be pretty tanky up against the amplified damage, so that'll kind of negate that. Something that's also to look for here is I think this definitely is a core silencer because with the Bane and Night Stalker pickups, I believe those are going to be supports for AK. So I think that we're going to be seeing a core silencer.
Hey! Oh my god, did I call that one?
Radiant
Woo!
team
Okay, I can agree that it's going to be a core silencer indeed. Probably mid, most likely.
Yeah, it should be a mid silencer.
All right, then. So I like their lineup, honestly. They've got plenty of guys to dive in, get them to pull up a little bit more on Chutoy. Hopefully this IO
10
can
seconds
keep himself
remaining.
away, keep him tethered out. By the way, you mentioned AK. Which player are you talking about?
5
AK the
seconds
team.
remaining.
AK? Oh, 8K. Right, gotcha. Pardon my
Sorry.
old man ears.
Reserve
No, that's
time.
probably
But-
my fault as well.
Okay, as long as they can get the crush, they can force the crush out from the Slard, they should be relative. I don't know. They really need a BKB on this Sven. He needs so much farm before he can really get in these fights. There's really a lot of ways to keep him under wraps until he can get a Blink Dagger, Echo Saber, Helm of the Dami, and then a BKB. We're talking 10k worth of items or more just to get this guy started in team fights.
I think you're kind of underestimating the value of the rest of the team, though. Like, a Sven by himself, sure, it's going to be tough to win against 5 heroes as just a Sven. But he's got a lot of control to help him out. Silencer is going to be very essential in these fights. Night Stalker is going to be pretty good, and controlling up the OD, making sure that he misses his attacks. And they have some of the best disablers in the game with the Bane and the Sand King. So it's not necessarily the Sven by himself here, but what he receives from the rest of his team.
Yeah, that's very true. You got tons of initiation to set things up. And what's really nice is that you actually have a strong frontliner. I mean, Night Stalker, he can get in and out of the fight, but I mean, he's tanky. I mean, he's got decent regen, strong armor. He's
10
not exactly the
seconds
easiest guy
remaining.
to kill as an initiator.
Phantom
They're going to go with the PA. They're going to try and blow up the Sven before he can cleave their whole team. And with the minus armor, I think it's pretty good too.
That
We're
is-
pretty much going with almost all green and teal on this side. Thanks, Warlock. Thanks for fucking that up.
Yeah, well, some guys just got to be different, I guess.
Yeah. Pretty much the stubborn. He's pretty much doing the equivalent of the stubborn old man and Up when they're trying to build that like highway or that city around him. He's like, meh, not having any of that. That's going to be me in like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years probably.
Possibly.
Not even 20. I'm just going to be a crotchety old man with a shotgun hanging out in my backyard shooting squirrels. All right, so, okay, it is going to be Lizard on the Night Stalker. He tends to be a more, I think well, at least the games that we've done before, like I think we had a Ricky in game 1,
10 seconds
and I
remaining.
think the second game he was a little bit more squish. It just seems like the kind of get in, get out hero and mess with them seems to be more his style. The kind of in and out Devi.
Yeah, possibly. Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out. I'm not actually getting any sound right now in game.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we'll go ahead and introduce Chutoy over here. Seem to be the easier names to pronounce. We got them from left to right here. Oh, they're all here together anyway, so whatever. We're going to have Ultra HS on your PA. Your star is going to be Ki Gik, or Kigik, however that works. You got Old Fucker and Young Fucker on Slaughter and OD respectfully. And finally, HNN on, yep, the support Warlock, like you said.
You may as well do the other team, right?
All right, sure. So it looks like we got a smoke opportunity down bottom. It's going to be LMGD on the silencer. You're going to have YOLO Knight X on the Bane. Pretty early smoke right there. They're not going to have a whole lot of time on the other side of the map. I guess they're trying to prevent a scan or anything like that. But we got Slander on the Sand King. We got you got your boy Lizard on your Night Stalker. And who am I missing? I'm guessing Top Boros on your big guy's Fen, leading the charge here with the Stormhammer ready to go. And yeah, the smoke pops right as they enter the damn woods. That seemed a little early.
All right, I think we're gonna do a soundless Dota version, so we're gonna have to come up with something here to keep it going. But
we need like a little guy with a little piano playing right now.
yeah, just
there's
a
a little bar fight like in the Western. But yeah, looks like Young Fucker's gonna go down. Really nice follow up. They had so many disables and stuns, and actually bought more time for that kill, despite the fact that he had the imprisonment on himself. And also they got a kill right next to their tower where you'd normally be able to just kind of back up into the tree line and get yourself out of there. Doesn't look like it just seemed like a kill that was totally avoidable. But hey, 8K are gonna pick up kill number 1 for this game. Only one game, guys. Best of 1.
yeah,
One will sound.
it is definitely a lot of early game potential, especially at level 1 with all of the stuns that 8K have and have picked up here. They also are a little bit tanky with the Night Stalker, so they can go a little bit deeper for things like that. And, well, they managed to pick up a good kill there.
So it looks like a dual lane down bottom. Got dudes with claws. You got Lizard and Slander. Well, I guess that's more of a pincer or something like that. It's claw-like. We got 3 guys down bottom for Chutoy. This is a very Healy. This is more kind of a babysitting tri-lane. There's not a whole lot of kill potential early on, unless they can just get the lane pulled back and possibly get Slander after he does a burrow strike or something like that. Otherwise, there's tons of sustain, tons of ways to ride out the storm right here. For example, Lizard popping the void on Gek there, but not a whole lot of gank potential unless 8K really messed this up. They're putting a ton of harass out there, though. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
they're putting a ton of harass, and something that I'd be especially careful of in this lane is the fact that you could have a Fatal Bonds at any time from the Warlock, and that can do quite a bit more damage than you really should be used to if you're 8K. So that's something they should definitely be aware of here at bottom.
We got Young Fucker dealing with their silencer mid. LMGD trading blows back and forth. He's got the pure glaive damage on him. So far, he does pick up the extra 2 intelligence. That's a decent boost. A little bit more of everything, kind of just in the lane, just to help him out a little bit more. Just a little extra morale boost, if nothing else. Gek's gonna get. Oh, he can't get the tether off just yet. But HNN's here to help him out around the tree line. That'll pretty much be the end of that. Lizard gets sent packing. No runes yet for 20 seconds. Oh, he's gonna turn around. Gonna come right back in. Gek's he's tethered to a friendly creep. And they're doing a really good job of keeping Lizard at bay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Slander. Ooh, Slander. Oh man, do we have? Yes, we have the finale on this guy. Plenty of hits. I don't know if this is gonna be enough to do it after it pops. So he's got a bottle. He should be all right. Close call, but he's okay.
Yeah, and plus cost finale is only level 1, so he's not going to be getting the most damage out of it. And if Wizard was a little bit closer, they might have been able to help out there to get the kill, but it's definitely okay. You're forcing the IO back. He does have the bottle already, though.
All right. Meanwhile, Old Fucker versus YOLO Knight here. Might get a crush off, but we do have the Brain Sap to sustain him pretty easily. He's out of mana, though. He doesn't have anything near Soul Ring, so he's got to kind of hold on to his spells at this point. He pretty much has 1 combo, and that's it. Yep. Imprisonment says nope. Lizard's like, well, yeah, he's rotating so much, he's not getting the experience he needs. The first night that's coming up in just over a minute here. He's really going to be struggling if he keeps this up.
I think he should be fine because when you do start to get up to those levels, the Sand King might be able to rotate into the jungle, giving Lizard some space on the bottom lane to get some time alone, some alone time, and
Some me time.
yeah, some me time. Yeah, Night Stalker's all about that. Um, he really is going to have enough time here. A lot of the better teams that we see in these qualifiers, they are able to split up levels among the supports, so I really have no doubt that Wizards can be able to get them. It might just take a little bit longer in this case because of how aggressive he's trying to play.
And just for an update for the brackets and stuff, guys, I'm going to link it one more time. That is a command you can do here just to see how the rest of this day is going to go. You've got this is round of 16 right here. A little bit extra damage coming out on Young Fucker, but it looks like he's going to ride that out. But yeah, we've got winner of this is going to play the winner of double check here. Winner of No Lifers Reborn versus Zero Hoots Given, and Zero Hoots did just have a little bit of a run in the main event, or let's put it this way, the regional qualifiers for WESG, which is like the Olympics kind of thing. And yes, I did just go there one more time. Here comes Night.
Sustains gold
So the Night Stalker does have level 2 at this point, so he has the extra move speed and the Void there. It's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage, but the important part is that it is going to slow. Silencer's been doing very well up against EOD in the mid lane, basically doubling him, or was doubling up for a while in terms of farm. The EOD's caught up a little bit, but Silencer is just using those waves very well to do some good damage to the EOD, and now he's going to get the silence off.
They want to try and get some damage off, but unfortunately, he gets here. I don't think they don't see the IO. They got to know he's on tap and ready to come in whenever, but man, they just got a nice last word combo. Getting a little bit low. Looks like the bottle is heading back to the fountain. Nope. Actually, he is out of regen at this point, so one good last word. Okay, there we go. Here comes the Wisp to take care of things.
And we're over at top.
Well, a little bit of a crush combo. Oh, no, nice 3-man crush. Saving himself and saving the day pretty much for old fucker right there. Yeah, just unfortunately just falling a little bit short, but man, 3-man crush was beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes it can be absolutely so difficult to take down a Slardar. You can try to work around the positioning as much as possible, but when you have a Night Stalker and a Sven coming in, and a Bane with, not the highest attack range, it can be very difficult to stay away from the Slardar like that, and sometimes you just really want to get that damage off.
And it's unfortunate that both of the main frontliners here are indeed melee, so they have to worry about the crush pretty much non-stop this whole game. LMGD back to the mid, another last word combo with the curse. He's going to go ahead and pop that extra damage from the curse, just get it off, and here comes Egek trying to tether him up. Unfortunately, that IO's tether does not give a 100%, it does not a stun anymore, ever since, TI3 back in the day. We long for the days.
Back when Wisp was every team. He still picked up a lot, offers a lot with the relocate, and just so much regen with the bottle.
And a little bit of a pause here.
Yeah.
Good pickup with the bounty rune there for I'm just gonna call him Gek. Screw it. So he's gonna get healed up here. Slander, he's got Burrow Strike up. Do you think he's gonna get out of this one?
He should. I mean, there's not really too much to keep. The Sand King here. He might run through this tether a little bit, but he should be completely fine. He's also very tanky up against the 2 supports.
That was a good move going into the IO just to make sure that the tether doesn't continue. So he's out of there. And you get the Prismament on LMGD. This should be enough with old fucker here to help out. And yes, with the sprint, he manages to stay on top of him. That's going to be the first kill for Chutoy at only a mere 2 kills in 6 minutes. Both teams playing it very safe in this best of 1.
Yeah, this doesn't seem too much like CIS Dota.
Yeah, that's I mean, both teams I think have had, this is their second run through here. I was watching Sharks the other day, and they were talking about like, okay, let's not fuck this up this time. I think they went to about round of 64 or round of 32, and then I think they got just kind of got surprised a little bit. So I was casting them yesterday. They don't seem to be taking any chances. They're playing right now. They are playing versus Team NM.
It's definitely interesting. Yeah, sometimes the European qualifier can be a little bit tough just because of how deep it can be. You've got a lot of teams who play a lot. There are tons of tournaments in the EU region, and some of them may be used to each other, but a lot of them do have a lot of tape. So there's a lot of information for these teams to be able to look at when they're preparing sometimes. And when you do get towards the end of these things, there's more of a chance that you know a little bit about these teams.
Meanwhile, a little bit of action in the mid. We're coming up on the tail end of night here, but Looks like Blizzard does manage to help secure an IO kill at least at that point. LMGD. Oh man, they caught the Bane on the wrong side of the tracks here. The ring 4, double down on the rotations, and they get an extra kill out of it. LMGD still under the tower, still damage amp. They still see him, and old fucker wants it, but now we got a creep wave to deal with. Looks like he's got the speed for it. Yep, they brought friends. They brought just about everybody, and they get 2 for 1. 3 for 1, actually.
Yeah, they get the Night Stalk at the beginning of that as well.
Unfortunately,
Radiant's top tower is under
yeah,
attack.
the Sparta just had so much move speed there that it was very easy for him to catch up to the Silencer, who was moving pretty slow, and I guess he wasn't really figuring that the Sparta would go so deep for that one. I may have also seen that the Sparta didn't have a whole lot of mana, eating the mango to make up for that, so it was definitely a good kill to go in for, and it just shows how aggressive you can be sometimes with the PA, going in with the daggers and the blink strikes onto heroes that, like the Silencer, that might not necessarily be so tanky.
yeah, just a mere Blightstone doing a lot of work here. Blizzard, he has a decent amount of armor, but he loses half of what he has right now. Meanwhile, Slander's getting got on down bottom. Yellow Knight's trying to buy some time, trying to do anything he can to stall, but Fatal Bonds and finally a dagger from Ultra HS. That's his 3rd kill of the game. So even though we got a free farm in Sven up here, which is incredibly risky, this PA's getting results for his rotations, and he's just as scary, if not more so, right now.
So you were talking about how the Sven might be a little bit underwhelming until he gets some kind of farm in this game, and well, he is doing some good farm right now. But the thing is, if the rest of his team, like I was talking about, aren't going to be as effective in this match, because right now they are taking a lot of deaths, it's going to be more on the shoulders of the Sven to try to carry this game, just because the heroes from True Toy are going to have more mobility as well as more damage here in the fight. So it is important that Sven gets the gold so early. Maybe he can get enough farm fast enough that, you know, the rest of the team's inadequacies can be put onto his back, but he is definitely gonna have to get there first.
Yeah, this OD just picked up a Midas, speaking of gold right here, so he's going to be I don't know, I want to say possibly power treads just to get the extra int for extra damage, and then on to, I mean, is there anything unusual that this OD is going to be building here to deal with the Sven, or does it look pretty standard?
Well, I mean, Hurricane Pike is generally pretty good against the melee heroes, so yeah, I would anticipate the OD getting a lot of damage against the Sven early, which makes it so important that the Silencer gets some good timing on his ultimate, and that Sven has a good BKB timing.
Yeah, this is all about kiting melees this game. And Blizzard, well, we're about 90 seconds to our next night. He had a somewhat, let's put it this way, a somewhat productive the tail end of the first night, as they finally do get a 2-man gank. A little bit of help from the Hellbear on that one too.
Yep,
But,
he got
yeah,
some
it looks
blocking
like
action.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he got some blocking action. I mean, you can just kind of helping out here.
Yep, LMGD, a little bit of a 2-on-1 there. Looks like he's okay though. Everybody's pretty much keen to rotate to the mid at any point now. Yolden Knight's here to help him out. A lot of guys closing in on 6 here. We're going to have to relocate fairly soon. Despite all the ganks that Gek has participated on, he's usually been the one to die first, so he will go down. Meanwhile, Slander might go down again. Burrow Strike does not do the dagger, but he does get far enough away to TP out. He's safe. Find some more time for that tasty Sven to get more tasty gear. And Lizard is going to have darkness about the time of the next night, so this is pretty good timing for them. They really need to make something happen here. YOLO Knight, well, going to put someone to sleep. Night for him. And that's about it for that.
Yeah, Bane should be a caster.
What?
Bane should be a caster so they can put all the people to sleep.
Oh, nice.
It's interesting to me that the Silencer and OD in this match, they both steal intelligence, right? So one makes you stupider over the course of the whole game. The other one just makes you stupider very, very quickly.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that we see both of the heroes here. And Silencer.
And they're actually, oh, they're gonna, LMGD's in so much trouble right here. Fatal Bonds, no problem finishing this off. It's 3-man rotation, but once again, more kills for their cores. Ultra with 3, and it looks like we got 3 on Young Fucker too. All the kills have been on cores, which Chutoy really need, just to make sure that the Sven doesn't get too fat too soon. The cores are staying very competitive here.
Dire's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
but the
attack.
question is when the Sven is going to enter the match. He's made it up to his armlet right now, and the rest of the team has a lot of control. So when he does end up being in here, he's definitely going to be very effective.
Dire's middle tower.
Well,
has
looks like a little bit of
fallen.
rotation. They do pop the... Oh, looks like we don't have darkness yet, but we have it on tap. We did a little bit of an extra combo. Global silence just to make sure the old man doesn't get away. And Lizard's going to be juking and driving in and out of here. Yeah, keeping the tether up as long as he can, but he's forced to pull back to break it. But yet another imprisonment from Young Fucker, just buying more time for the fight to drag out. Lizard is really hurting right here, and we do have the God Strength pop by Torboros. Did he just relocate himself away? Oh, he tethered himself out of there. But to what? I didn't even see how he got himself out of there.
Well, he's headed to the PA right now. She might have been blinking around.
Yeah, she might have blinked to the mid lane right after that. Good move. GD, they're always... Unfortunately, this silencer is usually up on the front lines when he needs to be... I mean, every time he pokes his head out, in the last 5 minutes, they've just dove on him. There's the rock drop. Catching 3. YOLO Knight in trouble. Oh, this is the big ult you're talking about. Q-Toy are making maximum use of it, and they're going to get at least 1 tower off of this. There's actually... Okay, or they can get Roche. That's cool, too.
Yeah, Roche is a cool guy. He needs a lot of friends. He always has people trying to kill him.
See, I'm just thinking, he's just walking around with spears sticking out of his side. No big deal.
Yeah, but then he gets little images of himself made up by the PA crit, so that's not fun at all. So, in the last fight, you kind of see what happens when you don't have a silencer ultimate and the other team wants to fight and they have their ultimates available. It's just so easy for them to come in and win pretty hard when you don't have anything available from the Dire side. Bane was just standing there and was like, guys, I'm here, I'm auto-attacking, and I don't really have any mana for my spells. So it was a bit unfortunate there that AK kind of used
Dire's
everything
bottom
they
tower
had
is
in
under
that
attack.
mid-fight and didn't really get too much out of it.
See if I can do some quick shotgun math here. He's definitely less than 100 away from having a full combo, but he still does not actually have mana for a full combo right now on the Bane. So what do you think is the next play in terms of the Aegis? We got big ults on cooldown like we were talking in the draft here, but we do have Aegis on a PA that's actually starting to take off here. Do they just keep going while the Aegis is up, or do they want to wait another minute?
Oh, absolutely, because they will be getting the Desolator on PA soon, so that's going to help a lot for the high ground push. And, well, 8K's high ground defense is pretty good, so you might see them back up, but if they can take a fight elsewhere around the map where the 8K ultimates end up being put on the cooldown, I think we're going to see a lot of aggression here from Q-Toy.
Yeah, there's about a 1 minute window that is ideal for 8K at this point. I mean, they've got global up, they've got darkness coming up, and the other ults are down on Q-Toy, so about a 45-second window. They're taking at least a good advantage here. They're going to lose overall with towers. Oh, here comes a relocate with the silence coming out. Oh, beautiful silence in the middle of this. Canceling it up. They lose their Slard. Pushing them back. We've got God's Strength pop, but hey, another imprisonment says, we're just gonna leave you in place. YOLO Knight sticking his neck out here, keeping the Fiend's Grip going a little bit longer, but the relocate is over. Their IO is gone, and Q-Toy's lines are broken with their big ults down. Even with the Aegis is going to get popped. They're still going to try and just outlast it, but we still have God's Strength going for a little bit longer. No mana on the Sven, so he's just pretty much forced to rely on his teammates for initiation. Can't really get in there and just start hacking away like he wants to. Darkness is popped. We got 8K on the run at this point. Looks like first 10 kills will go to Q-Toy. A noble defense. It looks like the Aegis was enough to keep them going, and now they're going to have ults up for that next push.
You can see how strong IO and a hero like the PA is. Like, a lot of times you could see Korean teams or other teams in the TI6, they would pick up the PA and then also have a Spirit Breaker with it. But IO,
MVP.
Yeah, IO also gives you that move speed that you desperately need on the PA to just chase heroes down. Works pretty well with the Stifling Dagger as well. It's really good at chasing heroes down in this fight when AK definitely could go no further. And now you see a bit of a problem. Every single one of the ultimates from 8K was down there. And you still have a lot from Q-Toy.
And so the relocate is back up. All the ults are up for Q-Toy. They're minus an Aegis, but they're happy with this. The global silence is down, darkness is down, epicenter is still down for a bit. This is a great time for them. AK, they think, I mean, just keep buying more space for the Sven. I mean, looks like you got a pretty decent ancient stack here. I mean, are they just going to keep going at him with 4 people, or do you think that it's too late and they got to bring the big guy in?
Well, with all the ults being up for Chutoy, it's actually extremely difficult for 8K to get a fight off, especially when there could be an relocate at any time. They're probably going to go for this gank here, but not sure how effective it's going to be.
You gotta haste it up. Oh, relocate. Oh, okay, that backfired horribly. The rock just came off. Well, actually, no, it's been up for a while. They just go ahead and drop it right on their face, and they're gonna get at least 2, maybe even 3. If they can catch anybody else on the run, like MGD, he's got haste, but at least they forced out the rock drop, but couldn't have gone much better for Chutoy.
Yeah, absolutely not. Well, it could have gone much better for Chutoy because they could have gotten a little bit more, and they do.
LMGD is so much in trouble. They always seem to catch out this silencer. It seems to be like their Achilles heel, is the fact that the silencer, as soon as he sticks his neck out, they always just obliterate him, usually in the mid. On the right side, though, we did get the Blink Dagger for their Sven, so, I mean, this seems like it's go time.
So it's going to be kind of tough to go when you're up against the PA and who has the Desolator, as well as the OD who can drop the hammer at any time. You're definitely going to want the Global Silence before you go into this. Luckily, Roshan, he is down for a while. So 8K do have a period of time where if you kill one of the Chutoy heroes, they are going to be dead for quite a bit unless they buy back. So you don't have the Aegis to play against, but they do have to be very smart with their initiations, and they might even want to try to something now, just because the Warlock ultimate is down.
Looks like they do want to do it. And they kind of getting set up here. They got 4 stacked up around their secret shop. Looks like they're going to hold off for now, get some more stack in. I guess they're content to just play. I mean, who has the better late game here? I mean, with the Sven, you got the Sven, but you also got the PAOD. I mean, who's rocking the 30+ minute game a little bit easier?
I would probably have to go with 8K just because of all the disables that they have. Warlock is going to be very good in a late game situation, but I think that in the end, Sven is just going to kill the golem a bit too quickly, and he's going to be very tanky enough and able to defend against the PA, who I think you'll just be seeing die very quickly in light of all the damage from 8K.
Another smoke picked up by the old man, HNN here. Looks like they want to make a move. They got 4 around the middle, 1 up top. That's their Slard. They can make a move with it. Yeah, it looks like they really do want to get something going. If they do relocate gank, it's going to be 3-on-3 for a short period of time. By the way, yeah, it's all about the openings. Let's take a look at what they can see here. Right now, it's practically nothing on Chutoy. They have almost no wards up whatsoever. Meanwhile, we got some vision in the mid, but they've got a ton of vision on the Chutoy's jungle. They're practically time sharing this thing, and looks like they could even help themselves a little bit from time to time to at least the outer edge camps.
Yeah, they do have a ton of vision. That was well placed down by the Bane. He kind of walked in with about 3 wards and got a ton down inside the Radiant jungle. So when they do go for their push onto the bottom lane, we'll be able to see when the Radiant are reacting a lot. They're going to be forced to TP over to the tower and relocate in. They do see if the Radiant are setting something up inside the jungle, but if you have the TPs to the tower and the relocate, things could be a little bit dicey for
Speaking of relocate, they might have to do it right here, right now, or at least TP to the tower, because they put their Slard in a lot of danger. Their Rock Drop will counter for now, kind of resetting, but unfortunately they blow up the silencer right after he pops his ult. Yellow Knight keeping things going a little longer with the Fiend script, but Ultfucker just coming in right in the way and crushing him. Their Sven, unfortunately, he's in the middle of an armlet toggle right now. He has nothing left to offer. Counter initiation for days on Chutoy. They waited too long. I really think they waited too long and let that ult get back up.
They had the vision up for a while, and they really just were not fast enough on the initiation. When you have ultimates that have such long cooldowns, you absolutely have to make sure that if you're playing against it, that you come in between those cooldowns, because that's really when your team can be very strong. And 8K really missed their time.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning that's a 3K, speaking of Ks, that's a 3K gold swing, almost an 8. But around the 22-minute mark, that puts them about 450 to 500 gold per minute ahead for their entire team. That's not insurmountable at all. But they did lose their Sven, even with the ult up and everything. He's just so kiteable at this point. They took a big risk with that Mask of Madness, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be working out for him yet. I guess they really need to get that BKB done.
Yeah, they definitely felt like they needed some more damage with with the Mask of Madness just because they were so far behind early. It is 17 kills to 6 right now, so AK are still
Yeesh.
pretty far behind, but they are making their way up there. Sven has a ton of farm. He's been doing very well this match, and he just really needs that ability to not be kited, not to be smacked down by the PA, so he has a long ways to go with his farm, but I think the AK will get up there at some point. They just have to be able to work around the ultimates and not really waste the epicenter initiation like they did in the last fight.
I gotta say, as far as running for MVP for this game, I kind of want to give it to Old Fucker just because his crushes have really been like make or break in team fights. That 3-man crush up in the top lane to save himself and prevent, especially their Sven from getting any extra farm. So far, he's really carrying this team as their carries have broken 10K now.
So basically, you'd give someone an MVP for pressing W?
Well, it's all about the timing and the positioning too.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's been doing very, very well with that. He got a pretty good timing on his Blink Dagger, and he's really creating a lot of space for the rest of his team to do well here.
By that same logic, I could give myself an MVP for just talking into a mic because I don't have to push any buttons today.
That is true. You don't have to press any buttons.
Sexual favors are still on the table for that, by the way, guys.
Well, we'll see if I can get in-game sound up first.
Okay. But looks like Lizard. It's actually worth pointing out. We didn't really bring up the Ags on the Night Stalker on Lizard. Once they get, that's gonna give.
I did.
If they can. Oh, you did. Okay.
I did. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of vision from it, and it'll possibly be able to lock down the relocate ganks, which we really haven't seen too much of at all this game. Now you see a little bit of deep vision being provided by Chutoy. They get a couple of nice wards on the dire side of the map, so they are going to be possibly able to get some more ganks off here. We'll see if they are going to be okay on those relocates.
This is going to be a super fast roach. They've got the damage amp, I think level 2 now, -5 plus -7. So, or -15 plus -7. There's basically a bonus on Roche of 43% extra damage. Very quick. And this is pretty much where you want to be at a PA when you're not doing the farming build. I mean, you pretty much, any competitive Dota, the PA almost always goes for straight, just do as much damage to one person as possible. And I gotta say, when PA like opens her mouth right now to talk with that Arcana, it's absolutely freaking terrifying. It's just a black hole. And I don't know, next time, just click on PA next time. It's just, oh, God, I'm just triggered by that.
She's not talking for me. It seems like I've been hit with the global silence. But nice scan from the dire side. They're going to be seeing the Radiant as they make their way over to the lane right now. So it kind of signals the retreat away from the lane and out of vision. But I don't think they're counting on the deep ward provided by their nice ward. They're getting some nice vision from it. Maybe they get the silencer, but they're going a bit deep for it. Can this sort of get off a good stun? He's got to blink that dagger up in 3 seconds.
Oh, nice crush on LMGD. God, he is all over the place. Just call this Slard Visa. He's everywhere you want him to be. And this Sven, unfortunately, he can't commit to the fight. He has to hold on to God's Strength, and he's out for 50 seconds. This looks like it could very well possibly be, like, possibly 2 sets of racks. Not quite game yet, but, man, we're so close to being there. That was a beautiful crush.
Yeah, it was an absolutely great crush. They got some really good damage on the silencer, take him out of the fight basically immediately. And with the Sven being down without buyback for 30 more seconds, they're at least going to get 1 set of racks.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go on their Sven. They know they can't fight without him, especially into an Aegis. Looking easy racks here. Is this the time to just keep going for it? They got their ults up. They got the Aegis. Anything stopping them?
Oh, why not? I mean, they're gonna have they have their BKB on OD. There's 30 seconds left in the PAs. They're just going to get some creeps here, and I don't think there's too much stopping them from going to the base right now.
Ooh, Basher done. And Ultra with... Let's see, has he... I think he's died... No, he has not even died this game. 2 deaths on their OD. 15 and 2. Oh, here we go. Really K coming in. Oh, he's going back to base and picking up the Deso. Coming right back. Okay. Casual taxi. YOLO Knight. Unfortunately, as far as MVP going to their Slard, well, YOLO Knight's on the Bane has been probably, unfortunately, just they keep blowing him up every time he does something. Every time he's done Fiend Script, it's gone for maybe 2 seconds tops, and then he gets crushed or something like that. Just the fact that he's stationary, he's vulnerable. He has no gear whatsoever, and they've just completely kept him under control, that's for sure.
I think I figured out why I don't have game sound, actually.
Did you have game sound turned on in
I think
game?
I might.
I've done that before.
Oh,
I've done
I
that
found
with
my game
everything
sound.
else.
I found it. It's in my other headphones.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I did
So
have
maybe
it the
people
whole
were hearing
time.
it. Maybe people were hearing it the whole time when you were
No,
like
they
keying
were.
up on the mic.
No, they were. They were hearing me the whole time. They were hearing the sound. All right, thanking.
Oh, nice Epi. Epi for their OD. It's only on one guy though. Young fucker, he actually managed to survive. It has the Lotus Orb on him. Big rock drop. And they catch everyone with it. Huge Sanity's Eclipse. There goes the Fen. There goes God's Strength. Pretty much there goes this entire game. And there goes their run at the Boston Major. Nice performance by Chutoy this whole game. Good game called at 27 minutes. Man, I was expecting this one to go a lot longer.
Yeah, whoever thought that performance could be seen from a dog phone. Just really working with the aggressive lineup. It really took a while to get the kills, but in the end, Shutoy, they come up with the victory up against AK, and 8K, they made it into the semifinals, I believe, of the last European qualifier, but it just shows how difficult the EU qualifier can be, and possibly speaks to why so many teams are going from EU to Americas now.
Yeah, I had the YOLO America. I don't know. I had a funnier phrase for it. Anyways, okay. So, care to make your plugs and stuff before we update the brackets here for you?
Oh, sure. I'm PythianLegume. You can follow me on twitch.tv/PythianLegume. We're going to be following the Americas qualifier later today on that if you're interested. And you can follow me on Twitter as well, @PythianLegume. And, we're going to be continuing with the EU qualifiers. So stick around with my big man, the Kairos dude.
Thank you. And it's worth mentioning he's driving the bus, so he gets to pick the next match. We'll let you know exactly what we're going to have. But right now, Chutoy has moved on. They're going to play against the winners of Zero Hoots Given versus No Lifers. You've got Elab versus the Elab versus Effect. Winner of that will play Attacks, who has moved on. You've got Friends, who has beaten Gus in fairly quick fashion, and we still got Sharks versus Team NM, who we've yet to see who goes on there. Condolences to AK. We're hoping to see him go a little bit further, but it's going to be up to Pythian to pick the next match.
Oh, boy.
in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through?
All right, guys, welcome back. We are currently watching No Lifers Reborn, or No Lifers, taking on Zero Hoots Given right here. They're doing their best of one. There's still the round of 16, and the winner of this is going to be probably facing Chutoy. Actually, the winners of this will be facing Attacks. And currently we got a pretty damn big lead on their Alk. See, you got Stormer on that, doing a pretty good job keeping the slack for 9, who's unfortunately really far behind. They're taking a team fight mid. Nice stun strikes, gonna take out the Ricky. Oh man, nice, beautiful setup here. The Alk is just doing so much work. He's so far ahead. He's got the Radiance. He's got pretty much all the gear he needs. He's got the core, just basically built for kiting and everything. Once again, this is Kairos. I'm joined by PythianLegume. He is currently working the camera and doing all the production stuff for us today. So he's picking all the matches. So he dropped us in this one.
Yeah, we're just kind of waiting for the next set of matches to get started up, so that you guys are not bored out of your minds listening to some terrible music. We'll show a match to you guys, and we might have to drop out a bit early just because this is on 2-minute delay, and we want to make sure that we get into the next lobby. So if we have a winner here and they're getting into the next match, we do want to make sure that we are able to catch them. So that's why if we end early, it might be a little bit anticlimactic, but please be ensured that we are going to be showing you the quarterfinals when they come up.
All right, so yeah, there's about 400 people in game currently watching this one. 9 still trying to make some headway here. They're doing a little bit of split push action on No Lifers whenever they can. Once they realize the team fight's over, they'll just get their Terrorblade out and about. He's got Manta. He's working on a Scotty. He's doing pretty well for himself here. There's plenty of room for them to come back. I mean, their Alk is more or less tapped out. I mean, you can get there's a bunch of Ags you can dish out here, but for the most part, he's just about done.
Moonshard.
Farming. Yep,
And
get
he
the
has a
Moonshard, get
Quelling
stuff
Blade.
slotted.
So
Yeah. Okay, so he's currently 5 slotted. Okay,
yeah,
but
you
he's
can definitely get a better item.
yeah. So looks like they wanted to make a play for Roche. We can't actually see the Roche timers because we're not in lobby. Should be coming up pretty soon. The way they were smoking around looking for it came up negative. They're trying to find a gank. Obviously, looks like they're keen to it. And more. I mean, this is game of last game we cast. It was Game of Ultimates. This is Game of Illusions. We got 4 Alki Illusions and 2 Juggernaut Illusions pushing with no problems whatsoever. No hoots on no hoots right now on the tower. They'll pop out, force out the glyph, try to buy some time. They do have a creep wave in the middle. Let's see what they can do about it. But guess what? That tower is already gone. Stormhammer is already here, popping out even more illusions with his Manta. It's literally illusions versus illusions now. We're under the Radiance. We're under the Acid Spray. And finally the Impale. The extra damage nerfed to illusions recently, taking its toll. And they're just going to take their side of the map back here. But they got something out of it. They still have 2 people up top here. You got Hovite and Ricky. They got 9 in the jug. Possibility of catching someone out, but looks like they're full even. Oh, they might wrap around the backside here. Okay, it looks like they're finally gone. Hovite's going to stick around a little bit longer. So looks like, I mean, honestly, the split push strategy seems to be working out well for him, just giving enough room to breathe anyway.
Yeah, they're both really teams that don't want to fight too hard right now. They just want to try to take some towers, try to get into the base, and not lose a whole lot while doing it. In that one, the Dire were forced back just because the Terrorblade was smacking their towers around, had a double damage rune up, and Well, ZHG, they really could not afford to stay there for too long.
Sunstrike will reveal the fact that the Roche is pretty much dead. So that would get that Snow Life Rescue to just beat feet and get out of here, get some split push up top. They got the Terrorblade close to the middle, close to the top, so he'll try to do what he can as far away from the other team as possible, just make some space. But at this point, doesn't seem like Zero Hoots, aside from maybe a couple Aghanims, and well, they just got the Scotty on no lifers, but we got the Aghanims. We replaced that dinky little Quilling Blade with a Curious, or Curious, and looks like they're about ready to finish this up. We got some. Yeah, taking very little damage right now, and that card pace is buying a lot of space, but unfortunately they still have him under control, and he's gone. Unfortunate, because they just pulled their Alchemist. He's actually back here. They used the recall to bring him, to clean up the top lane, then recalled him back. We got a nice vacuum wall for 2. We got illusions everywhere. It's just like a barroom brawl. We need that piano playing again, just in the background. Those Epicenter's gonna get juked completely, so that's ineffective. And there's no more Sand King. Zayax on the run. It was a very effective recall, getting that top lane pushed back, and then immediately bringing him back down. It looks like they're pretty much ready to end this right now. Not gonna waste any more time.
Do you see the match ended on bridge yet?
Let's go ahead and hop in then. Which one do you want?
No, I mean this one. Whoever ends up.
Oh
winning.
no. Elab versus Attacks, so not that one. Sharks is up.
Do you want to do Sharks?
Yeah, we do Sharks.
Alright, so we'll hop out of this one.
Alright, so guys, looks like this is about over anyway, so most likely Zero Hoots are going to move on, but we're going to switch over to the Sharks lobby as fast as we can while it's still open. We unfortunately have to kind of just do it. We can't waste time, so we'll see you guys in the next match.
Hanging by a thread, hung upon all the words you said, breaking free from this conformity that you force on me. Everything I do is one big show. It's about damn time that I take control. Put me under a microscope and watch me take control. What's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm And don't tell me that I need saving. Finally awake and living. Yeah, yeah. The pressure inside was building. I felt under attack. And now my mind's attacked. And I've chosen my path. I've chosen my path. Oh, what's this? I finally read this helplessness. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around. And and dear God, save my soul, 'cause it is blood. Tired of feeling like I'm upside down. So I'm gonna turn it all around. Upside down. Upside down. Gonna turn it all around. Upside down. As I wake up every morning, I wish the day would end. Because a day without you in my life, I don't know how to mend. And I was like, eh, 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 oh, 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 oh. You were like, eh, 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 no, oh, no, oh. I was like, eh, 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 oh, 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 oh. You were like, eh, 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 no, oh, no, oh. Come on, let's rewind till I smile. That look upon your face. My heart is empty and unguided. A blind leading
All right, guys, welcome back. We're in the quarterfinals for basically this. We're almost done with the
5
Boston Major
seconds
Euro
remaining.
qualifiers in general, down to the last best of one series. We got Sharks right here
Reserve
versus
time.
DVS, which is attacker squad with Coupe and Solon. Pretty good lineup they're up against right here. But they just had a nice comeback. They actually had most of the entire draft that we had in game one, where that was, let's see, who do we have there? We had 8K. They went up against pretty much the entire draft. They're doing this. They're doing the minus armor strat. We might see some more PA here, but yep, we're gonna continue on. We got one more best of one and two more best of threes for the semi and grand finals, respectively. It's Kairos yet again, and driving the bus with me today, doing all the production, all the camera work, is the sexy hunk of man meat, Mr. PythianLegume.
Dire team ban.
Well, I don't know how much of the man meat I got here. I'm a little bit skinny, gladly. But yeah, it's always a lot of fun when we get towards the end of these things. It's a lot of work that goes into putting the qualifiers on, thanks to Face It
10
and a lot of the
seconds
people that run
remaining.
the Dota qualifiers, Oracle, for making sure that these run
5
as smooth as
seconds
possible
remaining.
and putting a little bit of a spotlight on the casters here. It's definitely a lot of fun, and
Reserve
well, I'm
time.
glad that the teams are getting their chance to play in the regional qualifiers now. The first EU qualifier, do you recall who won that one?
Let me double check here. Believe it was Pro Dota, PD.
That would be the
Actually,
EU qualifier in the Americas region.
oh yeah, the YOLOPian qualifier. That's right. I know Warriors Gaming won the C one, and
Radiant team
eHome
ban.
wins. Yeah, eHome X one.
Dire
Where
team
Unity
ban.
won, and what was that next one?
eHome K and eHome X won the Chinese qualifiers.
Gotcha. Feel free to let us know in the chat because apparently my old man memory's kicking in. But how about this
10
draft so far?
seconds
Like, you got
remaining.
minus armor, you got the ability to save a Slard diving in, you've got counter initiation for days. I mean, Sven is more of he's pretty
Radiant
much just the
team
cleanup
ban.
crew. He's a one-man cleanup crew after a fight already starts. That's the ideal situation for him, and they've got two different ways to completely turn a team fight around. But on the other side, you've got the ability to save each other. So this is scary for both teams.
Dire team
Yeah,
ban.
it's always difficult when you see a Dazzle in a draft, just because you know that there's going to be a hero. If there's a Grave, you know that there's going to be a hero that just lives way too long sometimes, and that's really tough to deal with because you have a hero. I'm sure they're coming up later in the draft,
10
possibly.
seconds remaining.
I don't know, a huge damage dealer nonetheless that you're going to try to
5
initiate on,
seconds remaining.
that you're just not going to be able to take down if the Grave is there. So you're going to be looking for a lot of control
Reserve time.
from DVS. You have to make sure that you can keep that hero out of the fight for a while. Also, if you can get the disable onto the Dazzle, the double D, as it were, you could be able to just kind of take the Grave out of the fight, which is really nice. I don't think that the Radiant have someone to do that just yet, but we might see someone come up throughout the rest of the draft.
8K was rocking a mid silencer in the last match. Do you think that's potentially what they need to keep this Dazzle under control? Is at least a different form, an extra form of silence as well as the disables? Because usually there's often like a slight window between stuns. If you're just initiating them, you don't have everybody there yet. I mean, would a global silence or just a silence in general kind of be icing on the cake to keep this under control?
I think that a silencer works under a lot of lineups. You just can't really let him get caught out. If he does end up being controlled out of a fight, that means you're basically losing a whole hero, because there's only so much that a global silence can do, and you really want a core silencer to be able to output a lot of damage. I don't think we're going to be seeing him here.
Radiant
I
team
think that
pick.
there are much better things for the teams to pick. Some things that are a lot more survivable than that, and especially with the Templar, I think we're going to see DVS go for something that is going to match up a little bit better against her.
They need something with more consistent damage,
seconds
preferably an urn carrier would be ideal. There's a ton of options there. We saw a Night Stalker
5
on
seconds remaining.
8K on Lizard. Unfortunately, it didn't
Invoker's
work
still in the
out for him.
pool.
It would be really good here. Invoker's here. That's great. Right
Reserve
now,
time.
that's a really good counter pick because they're basically, aside from the Shadow Word, they have nothing but big hits, which are easily pretty much blocked off by TA. It's worth mentioning, guys. Sorry, no attacker Kunkka here. Sorry, they banned it out very first thing. They've obviously seen the videos too.
How does the meme go? You're playing against attacker. You don't ban Kunkka because you think you can counter it. Attacker picks Kunkka. You ban it next time because you're not stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this time
So,
there is no next time.
yep, exactly. So sharks aren't stupid. So they're gonna go and take that out. Interesting pudge ban too. I think that's more.
Oh, there's another
I think it's
player
more
on
thing.
the rating side that's extremely experienced on Pudge.
There you go. So axe is out. That's actually okay. The axe is pretty standard to taking out the shallow grave, so he's gone. Honestly, the picks and bans seem pretty decent so far for sharks. Of course, this is going to be probably a 30-35 minute game tops because the sharks are going to peak out very soon the way things are going, unless they want to go really greedy and maybe do an off lane slard and then get another physical carry. I mean, does against a warlock and a Sven, do you think you can afford to do that?
I mean, I'm just looking at the Sharks lineup right now, and I'm like, man, every single one of these heroes has some kind of minus armor, and the Radiant are trying to play against that. They have both the Warcry as well as the Frost armor from Lich. Maybe they're also going to dominate up the Frost Troll and
10
get some
seconds
armor from
remaining.
him. But they're definitely putting a lot of eggs into the basket
5
of
seconds
just
remaining.
trying to negate the minus armor that they're going to be receiving. And you can't do it all, but they're definitely making an effort here
Reserve
and
time.
picking up heroes that are fairly good as well. Lots of team fight here from DVS.
Could almost guarantee that Senny on the Dazzle's probably going to pick up at least a medallion. If things go well, he'll just go straight to a Solar Crest. And an Urn would be... Lich could possibly get an Urn to deal with the TA. Honestly, the Lich is... I really like that pick to deal with it more. Okay, well, this Void's going to have no problems whatsoever dishing out damage. This is going to be nuts.
I actually wouldn't even be surprised to see Sanguine Sharks also pick up the Vengeful Spirit here. Just go
Yeah.
all in with the minus armor. Also has the saves from it, and you
10
can still disable a
seconds
couple of these
remaining.
heroes out of the fight.
Yeah, I actually like that option there.
5
It's
seconds remaining.
it kind of goes along with the purple strat, except for Slard. Fuck you. You always just got to be one guy out. The blue strat,
Reserve time.
the all blue strat, getting trumped by Warlock yet again. But this is also risky doing a chrono with the potential for they have to pretty much always catch the Lich in the chrono. I mean, honestly, they have to catch the Warlock
10
and the
seconds
Lich,
remaining.
and hopefully this Sven is too far away that he won't be on the outside of the chrono and then just be hacking away. So they've got to play these chronos like so well. God, the counter initiation, another big game of ults, but it's almost entirely on the side of DVS.
Yeah, they're going to be working around a lot of cooldowns. Basically, all of these ultimates have some very long timers on them. So Sanguine Shark's going to be a
10
bit more
seconds
mobile of a
remaining.
squad. And when we're looking at these heroes, we definitely see a lot of gank
5
potential from them.
seconds remaining.
They should be able to work around these cooldowns fairly well. And Void's chrono can
Radiant
definitely be
team
a
back.
lot lower of a cooldown. But when you get into that kind of situation, you have to take a look at the Radiant side lineup and say, okay, well, they have a bunch of these ults. How exactly can they use them? So basically, Faceless
10
Void,
seconds
you're talking
remaining.
about it earlier. He's got a ton of stuff to do with his Chronosphere.
5
He really needs to
seconds
hit the good
remaining.
ones to help his team. And if you take a look at them, maybe you get the armor weave on top of the Chrono. But
Radiant team
other than the Templar Assassin to some extent, Sharks are going to have a lot of trouble hitting heroes inside the Chrono. So they absolutely have to be fantastic this match. They're not really giving themselves a whole lot of room for error.
Yeah, it's even if they manage to do the chrono with their
10
TA
seconds
outside,
remaining.
you still have to be able to try and do some side blade cleavage right there. I
5
don't think the
seconds
Oracle is
remaining.
necessary here. Honestly, like you were saying, the Venge is probably better.
Reserve time.
What is the
5
possibility?
seconds
Oh,
remaining.
okay, that trumps that. I was thinking about the possibility of a
Dire
Naga,
team pick.
just to, I mean, mainly because they're relying so much on Chronosphere here, and the song is such a good counter to it. But they're gonna go with DP. Okay, there's a good alternative for your outside the chrono damage.
So basically, their goal with the Chronosphere is to hit one hero and take them down. Make sure that the Skywrath is in range for his combo, and they should be able to do enough damage there to take a hero down. The only question is that going to be enough against the huge team fight from DVS? And they're going to be pushing pretty hard and fast. They have a ton of armor. This Death Prophet's going to be buffed up a lot as she does damage with the Exorcism. So look for DVS to just push down the lanes very quickly after a good early game start.
Yeah, they kind of have to, considering the amount of time they have between ults here. Their Lich will get a shorter cooldown as this goes on, but if it gets to the point where he gets a level 3 ult, this game is probably already over to
10
begin with.
seconds remaining.
Slayer is worth mentioning. Does really well in a Sky Dale.
5
Very
seconds
talented
remaining.
offlaner with the with the slaughter, just initiators in general. Guys can pretty much tell I have a boner for sharks these days, but I've been casting them a lot. It's just fun to watch them. Chill group of dudes, but they're up against Attacker. They're up against Coupe. Oh my god, this is going to be a tough match for him. Honestly, what is 35 minutes or less? 25 minutes or less? I mean, when did they have to win this?
Well, Sharks have to. Oh man, this is actually such a weird lineup because you expect DVS to have a good early game. You expect them to be able to push towers in very quickly. They have tons of ults. As soon as they get up to level 6 with, like, say their Warlock, they're going to be wanting to push towers. Even maybe a little bit before that with the DP. And Sharks, they need to be able to, 1, weather that, which is going to be difficult. And 2, they need to find the items to get into the mid to late game. I don't think if this gets super late, they're going to be... Maybe the Void turns into a super mega carry. But failing that... I think Sharks have a couple of very small windows to win this game. Also, I would definitely advise being very careful with your boners around Sharks because they could definitely just bite it off.
Yeah, that's true. At least it's not something that just swims up your dick hole and lives there for a while. I'd rather just have it bitten straight off. But for those of you watching out, feel free to watch in game, or if you're watching in game, you can join us on twitch.tv/Kairos Commentary. Mr. Legume is currently driving the bus right now. He's doing all of the cam work and all that stuff. So you can blame him for all the first blood misses and all that good stuff.
Yep, all of your production things that aren't going well, that's all me. That's that's all my fault. So if there is a bird that shows up in the middle of the screen for some reason, that's going to be my fault.
Well, we'll bring it back at some point.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come back at some point.
Yeah, pretty much, I accidentally made my own meme. All right, so starting lineup, I'm going to, with my current boner for the Sharks, I'll go and introduce them. We got Slash Strike in the mid, who does some co-casting with Panda from time to time. She might be getting back into this a little bit sooner. She's currently, struggling with, her internet at her new apartment or whatever. She's living in school and work, but if she does come back in, look for him to be co-casting with her. You got Mambos, kind of a new face in the crowd here. Well, new faceless guy in the crowd. Dale's going to be on your Slaughter, pretty trademark offlaner. Senny on your Dazzle. Does a lot of work on an Oracle, but he'll take the Dazzle this time. And finally, who did I miss here? I think I got it. Oh, I think I got everybody. Jalopy. No. Okay, so I think Oh, Solaria. Okay, normally I see him on an Enchantress. He'll be on the Sky today.
All right. I guess you didn't take DVS yet, right?
Nope.
So I'll
Good luck.
introduce the Warlock, played by Solon. We've got a Lich handled by Jalopy, over on the Radiant side. It's going to be a Death Prophet in the mid lane, played by Attacker. Got some nice legs there. Sven's going to be handled by LFT. And then finally, Tide Hunter. He's going to be our off-laner, played by QP. He's probably starting on the jungle a lot.
Sven's got some nice legs on him, too.
Oh, yeah? You like those?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty muscular.
Coupe. So, okay, I know of him. I know seem to know a lot more about him.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's green. He looks like a watermelon.
That narrows it down.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the Iron talent up right now, so I'm definitely going to be looking to see him start in the jungle a lot. Doesn't really want to be appearing too much in the top lane.
I got a bit of a ward war going on here. They did de-ward the hard camp on the top side here. That's gone. It was kind of cute to see that as soon as the ward was gone, it just sort of waved and disappeared. It was like, all right, I'm done. I'll see you guys later. So 1-on-1 down bottom. Possible tri-lane. I don't know where they're headed yet. Looks like a babysitting Warlock old man with the extra locks of hair. It's going to be babysitting Pubber here. And possible 2-on-2 up top, 2-on-3 looks like it. Jalopy, this is going to be easy. Honestly, you've got so much you got the armor and you've got the Kraken shell. They're not going to get any kills up here.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're not getting any kills, but I definitely think that once the levels get up for DVS, I think that it's going to be a very tanky lane there.
Okay, what we normally see with the Death Prophet is, get the Crypt Swarm maxed out, get a little bit of levels and everything, and then maybe around level 7 or 8, go ahead and push. Generally with the TA, you kind of hold on a little bit longer. You don't see him rotate unless he gets a good rune or something. So I think Attacker is going to be the first one to make a move as he goes and sucks away /strikes up. However, it gets completely trumped because he's not doing any actual attacks. The refraction completely trumped that. So I wonder how soon Attacker is going to get going here and start rotating.
I don't think a Death Prophet really should rotate too much at all. Really, she just wants to sit in lane, get some farm, and possibly put some pressure on the tower if the TA leaves. Generally, you just want to sit in lane until you can get your team doing pretty well. Maybe looking for an exorcism onto the tower when the enemy mid laner leaves.
Yeah, it's a good point. If he does go for a rune or something like that, it does leave him wide open to at least get them mid first and then go to work from there. So there'll probably might be as good 10 minutes or something before we see anything else. So look to the side lanes for all the action at this point. Mambos just trying to zone out Jalopy. Currently with Sacrifice, trying to keep the lane pulled back, but it looks like Sharks are doing a good job getting the stacks going so far. They dewarded, and they're already up to 3 stacks in 2 minutes. Whoop, meanwhile, the Watermelon worrying me there, Coupe, but apparently this guy, those who did Solari says hi. That should just about do it. Arcane Bolt. First blood for position 4.
Yeah, Skywrath is just one of those heroes that can do very well against the Tidehunter, and you might even be looking for a kill on the Jalopy here.
Yeah, might get double here. That's a fresh Watermelon getting picked out, though. But, yeah, oh, tried for the body block. Didn't really need it. Looks like Jalopy got safe. Gonna buy some time here. He doesn't seem to be in any danger, so he's just messing with him as best he can. He wants to go back in. You could tell. He seems pretty thirsty, especially with their draft. They need to do as much as possible, as early as possible, and as often as possible if they're going to get anything done in this game. Guys, normally with best of ones, you don't see a draft like this. I got to give them props for at least having the balls to do it, because this could backfire so bad. One bad team fight, and they lose so much of their early to mid-game advantage, and their whole tournament run, all of yesterday, will be for naught.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate when you just go so far through a tournament and you get to something like the grand final, then you lose, and basically you're done at that point. It is good that usually teams will have the second qualifier to go through if they don't do well in the first one, but if you miss your opportunity, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Sharks literally were telling me, like, yeah, we fucked up in the first one. Oh, meanwhile in the mid, they're gonna get Attacker. That's just a 2-man rotation. They'll still get a kill with the Jalopies here, but a little late. Still doesn't have the armor yet.
Yeah, he was just hanging out on the high ground. Armor really doesn't help you a whole lot against the Skywrath damage anyway.
True. All is magical. And Dale, a little bit of trouble here. He got caught on the wrong side of the river. That's going to be the first kill. 3rd blood going the way of DVS. Yeah, a little bit greedy there. A little bit greedy. Can't afford to give up any kills at all against this lineup.
Yeah, sometimes he gets a little bit far in, and Warlock's just very good with the Fatal Bonds, and which he hasn't leveled yet. He's at level 3 with, I guess that's 2 levels into the Shadow Word and 1 into stats, or just saving one of those points for when he needs it.
I think he's just saving it. There's not a whole lot you can do with Upheaval unless you're just TPing on a tower and trying to get someone out, but chances are by the time you're there, they've already they're either almost dead or halfway gone, so it kind of feels like maybe just go ahead and get the Fatal Bond, save yourself some time. But hey, I ain't a pro. I'll just casually observe, I guess. Larry wants to make another play here, wrapping around with the ward. He's got boots too to chase people down, got raindrops.
Radiant's top tower is under
This is a
attack.
pretty big raindrops game on both sides, it's worth mentioning.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, Death Prophet really needs those raindrops in case she gets caught out inside the Chronosphere, and you can definitely use some raindrops against the Radiant squad as well.
Or right about now would be good. Just took an entire Arcane Bolt to the side, and that's going to be a second death of the game. Good controlling by Shark so far. I think he's learned his lesson. He'll probably pick up some raindrops now.
Possibly. He's right now kind of paying for only having 2 levels into the Spirit Siphon. He really could... He's having so much difficulty staying alive. You can see how much the Spirit Siphon is actually doing when the Death Prophet does get ganked down like that. But it's just so difficult to stay alive under such immense pressure from the Skywrath and the TA.
And Solari's doing a good job with the silence as well. I mean, actually, he doesn't actually... Well, let's see. Yeah, he has it. Hang on a second. I'm going to dive in again on Attacker. This might be his 3rd death. Mambo says hi. He's going to go ahead and get the first chrono. He does catch a second one, too. Jalopy's in trouble. 2 points in the Artis armor. Might be able to slow this down a little bit. The 30% speed reduction is worth mentioning even at the lowest level. But that's 3 on attacker. That's just absolutely mauling him this game.
Yeah, it's so difficult sometimes to play against a hero like a Death Prophet that doesn't have as much strength anymore.
My God, Soleri just having so much fun this game. He's just happy to just be everywhere you want to be. Literally just give him the Visa sponsorship as fast as you can. Pubber with the haste rune is going to try and outrun this Arcane Bolt, but it's just about gone. He should survive, no problem. But
It's gonna chase him
and
down.
finally,
Oh!
yay! There we go. Yay! So I guess every time they rotate in for a kill, and just hopefully DVS can do something with the few seconds you have before they go back to the base heal. And guess what? They're coming back in again. Soleri is about to drop in, possibly top. I can see him kind of making a possible play for it. Let's see who's signaling this. Their Warlock currently signaling. At least watch out that towards their secret shop. Possibly signaling for wards or something. Meanwhile, down bottom, haven't seen a whole lot here. Pubber still doing AFK Sven farming things. You know, he's still doing well despite the fact that his team is not. So hopefully they can bring him in sooner than later.
Something that we didn't really talk about too much is the fact that although Sharks have a ton of the minus armor, one of the better things based on their lineup is that they can Roshan extremely fast. So as soon as Templar Assassin feels comfortable, maybe even just gets to the straight Desolator, we're possibly going to see a very early Rosh attempt from Sharks.
Alright, so Armor Watch, we don't have Weave yet. We have the damage amp, so we're minus 10 there. We don't have a Blightstone anymore, so we're currently rocking minus 10. Warcry is at level 1, so that's plus 5 armor. You got level 2 ice armor, so that's plus 5 plus the slow. So currently, in an ideal world, in a vacuum, the armor situation is currently evened out, but it's going to get a lot worse. Pubber is caught up in trouble here. Then he's going to come in and get that bad touch on him. As Solari's here as well. It's 4-on-1. They're just going to go and let him go and try to get some space somewhere else because there's just nothing they can do.
Yeah, I think that's what Sharks are going to be trying to do this entire game. Just a gangbang right onto the DVS squad.
Mm-hmm. It's fun to watch, that's for sure. We're going to have the Weave really soon here. About a couple creeps, then he'll be getting Weave. And looks like they really want that Roach Pit. They've been posturing around it, like you said. Even Slacks knows that a Slarder lineup can do Roach very easily.
And if Slacks
Like
knows it, surely it must be pretty obvious.
Like Purge. I'm gonna drop this on you. Ready? Slarder is good at doing Roche. He's like, yeah, that's good, man. It's really good. Anyway, attacker is finally alive for longer than about a minute. He's currently rocking 0-3 and 0. Still no raindrops or anything. What is on the way for him? Maybe phase boots? Bottle. Okay, so this does give them the fact that they're kind of not in the mid right now. And Slash Drake does return, but
Radiant's top tower
a little bit of a breath for attacker. It just feels like here we go again. It's gonna happen any second.
I mean, the way that he plays is just so far out sometimes.
Celeste Strike is just like he almost had him solo. We got to siphon off, kept him alive, but space created down bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Slary's just having the game of his life right here. He's happy as a clam.
He's playing Skywrath. Like, why wouldn't you be happy?
So Mambos, we haven't talked much about him. He came in the mid, dropped a nice chrono on 2, got a kill out of it. He's actually doing better than their Sven is currently, which is worth noting against the Cleave. He's built a little more aggressively. He's got the time lock maxed out before the time walk, and there's the Vlads. So I was gonna ask this in the draft, but I didn't get around to it. Is this a game, considering the lower cooldowns of Sharks, and they're kind of hinging on this long cooldown Chronosphere, is this a game to just rush the Ags, or do you want to keep building utility on this guy and just hope for the best?
I think that due to the fact that they played the Faceless Void in the top lane, safe lane farming, and they're putting a lot of farm priority on him right now, they definitely want a bit more damage. Might even be going for the Linken's build. It might be okay this match up against what DVS are throwing at him. I don't really think that going for an Aghanim Scepter would be very effective, just because like he already has a fairly short cooldown on the ultimate, and he doesn't wholly need it to do the damage. Like, they need him more for like whacking at other heroes, not necessarily controlling them.
Yeah, they're pretty much putting a lot of pressure on Dale with that. With Solari with the silence and the slow is pretty much getting the job done. And basically what they've done is they've created this sort of, like, for those of you poker players out there, they've created this table image of being loose and aggressive, and you don't want to go in unless you have a really good hand. So they've made so much space just on the fact that they're constantly around as 4 or 5 people at once ganking. So that allows them to a little bit more luxury. They don't have to commit ults as much because, I mean, if they catch someone out, they're probably just going to... There's a good chance that they will just let them go. Now on to the mid. All right, let's take a look at the minus armor... the armor watch 2016 here. So we got the Blightstone now. Oh, I forgot to mention the meld. So that's -7 total there. Still got -10 coming out of Slard. We got the... Oh, we skipped the weave. We went with a little more heal and bad touch. So we're currently rocking whatever I just said. 4 plus 10, minus 14. Countered by level 2 Warcry and Frost Armor at level 3. Putting a lot of... This is a long cooldown ult that they're putting into this tower here. Godstrike not so much, but oh, beautiful play. Sven is not someone you want to initiate with. He's someone you want to clean house with. He got caught out alone. Beautiful 3-man crush. Rock Bomb will counter things a little bit, kind of split the difference. Everybody's sort of reset. Red Rover, they're going to call Solon over. You want to play with him, one more hit should do it. There he goes, he's gone. And once again, that table presence, they're gonna have to walk away from the rest of this.
Unfortunately, not able to take down the tower there. Sharks really come in with a pretty good Chronosphere. They get the Sven down nearly immediately, and then, well, you talk about some high cooldown ultimates, but, well, as far as able to get 3-man crushes like that, you're hardly needing ultimates as Sharks. So, definitely with the farm lead and the gold lead right now, they're putting a lot of pressure on the map, and they're not really worrying about all this plus armor that the Radiant side have accrued.
It was so beautiful that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Warcry should still exist even if you kill the Sven, as long as you get it off. But when you blow up a Sven who is built for... By the way, he didn't go helmet down, he went built for fighting, he went for the armlet. But just being able to catch him out alone like that, or just catch him in front, it's so ideal for Sharks. I mean,
Might have gone again.
Oh my god, not again. Minus armor, they got the silence on him. He's desperately trying to do anything he can. Gets the God Strength with the armlet toggle. Is able to pretty much handle Dale single-handedly. Gets the armlet toggle once again. And that should be looks like they're just kind of set up again. It's Solarius out of juice. That's the problem. Coupe, who has not had a chance to do a single Ravage this game. Nice blink away. Geez, Solari able to roam like crazy. And now Dale's able to blink in and out of these fights. Coupe with the Ravage, the threat of the Ravage, was able to at least save their Sven. God, they needed that save so bad. Good play.
That was a pretty deadly dance there. Over at top, Jalabi just way caught out.
Yep, Slash with the Deso now complete, and Aegis. So we're at, let's do this, Meld. Okay, get your calculators out. 18 plus 7, that's minus 15 just on Slash Strike. Cindy has gotten the weave, so that kind of varies based on how long the fight's going on. And we still got another level and change before we're going to have negative 15. So what I just say there, pretty much 15 plus whatever Senny wants to put out with his weave.
Yeah, basically a ton of minus armor, and that's really what their lineup is built towards. They've got the Aegis on TA. Oh my gosh, is someone going to get caught out again? Just working with this Dire Observer so much.
You talking about the one up top?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got 2 up top now. Oh, Slash. My god.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, with the haste rune and everything. And the
It
fact
took
that
3
they...
hits.
Yeah. This is one... He's going for the Yules, but it's just like, what good is the Yules if you're just gonna get hit and knocked out by the time you hit the ground anyway? Like, but by the time you cast your ult, you are dead. And now, unfortunately, Solon's gonna be dead here. Too much magical damage. Even the Arse Armor is not gonna save you. So that's 2 dead for nothing. First 10 going to Sharks, as well as First Blood. And looks to be pretty much all the outer towers. Okay, so if you're Sharks, you're again another like mid-game strategy thing here. Do you just go for the throat somewhere, or do you want to just get the outer towers first? At 15 minutes in, you got a huge lead.
If they're not going to defend you may as well.
Are you talking about tier 2s, or are you talking about tier 3s?
I'm talking about tier 3s. Like, they had vision in the jungle of the Slardar. I'm getting ganked by a couple of heroes. They definitely could have gone for tier 3s there, but they noticed that since the mid lane is already pushed out, they may as well do some work elsewhere.
speaking of work, they've pretty much taken the whole jungle themselves some time share. Nice job by Pubber, though, getting whatever he can to get that Echo Saber as fast as physically possible. He does have God's Strength up. They are going to respect that at least. Oh, now we got a double damage coming up here. Sweet Jesus. Okay, Echo Saber, speaking of which, almost done on the spend, but Mambos already has one with the Bastion. Maxed out Bash with Vlad's. And now Slash Strike with all that minus armor is going to probably take the 3 hits that it took to kill Attacker probably down to, well, 2, but possibly even 1 if they catch him without full hit points.
Yeah, basically these Radiant heroes, they need to get tanky, they need to keep that ice armor up, or they need to stay out of vision because Sharks are just extremely scary right now. They've got a ton of kills, and they're going to get a wraparound on the mid lane.
I'd like to point out, too, the Echo Saber is actually a really good counter to ice armor because it's pretty much guaranteed 2 hits. And that'll help you get a better chance at the bashing, which might make the difference between you getting killed or not. Hubber trying to keep this going. Still has God's Strength, but he's going to get got on. They're going to drop the rock. Beautiful rock drops. Going to catch 2 in the backline, and a nice Ravage in the backline as well. Solari will go down after using that Mystic Flare, but they've lost 2. They've lost 2 big ones. They're going to lose 3. Sharks are pretty much taken over at this point. They've got no more ults to commit at this point. They just have the Lich, and, well, that's about it. Their Tide is back at base, and looks like they're going to deduct him 1 more tier 2.
So at the beginning of that fight, 2 heroes got caught out from each team. One was the Death Prophet and Sven from the Radiant, and on Sharks it was the Dazzle and Skywrath. 2 of these heroes are not like the other. 2 of these heroes are supports, and even after the initiation, all the spells coming out from DVS, there was just not really too much left to take care of the cores from Sharks, so it was a very easy fight after the Chain Frost just bouncing around.
Nice kiting by them. They did get Solari. They got the 2 squishiest heroes essentially. They did not. Okay, they did pop Aegis, so they. I don't feel. It doesn't even feel like they bought time with popping the Aegis though. They're just gonna keep coming at them.
Aegis expired.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about Coupe's rush to Greaves here instead of the Blink Dagger?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think that it could be fine because the team is pretty much going into you anyway. I think that his team definitely does need the survivability, but the question is if he's going to be able to be effective enough with it. He's basically going to be a very tanky Tidehunter, which he pretty much was already, but the magic damage is still going to be very difficult for him, and there's just so much minus armor. Now, the Guardian Greaves can help with that a little bit, but I still think they're pretty limited. I think it's a good item. I don't know if a Blink Dagger helps you more.
Alright, so Attacker. I mean, this is one of the problems with Ice Armor, right? It's got 40 seconds on it, which feels like a lot. But once you push up and get past the river, you're now exposed, and then your Ice Armor is gone, and then you just become so vulnerable to a team that's just built to jump on you. So it's almost like split pushing is almost never an option beyond where Sharks tier 1s used to be. Otherwise, you're just going to get annihilated. And, oh wow, they got this jungle. Pretty much, they're just renting out this jungle. Seeing if any other players currently going in the quarterfinals want to borrow some farm over here. They can sell it to them for real quick. And Coupe might be trying to get that Blink Dagger, but I don't think it's going to happen. This Warlock is way out front. That's so dangerous. He's trying to get the wards, but man, it's just so risky right now. He's going in without armor, too.
Yeah, and there's full vision of him thanks to this very deep Dire Observer. It's also out of range of the Radiant Sentry that he just put down, so it's actually a very intelligent ward position that it's probably not going to get you, and it gives you some very good vision.
Yeah, they saw everything with it. That is a beautiful ward position, honestly. I'm going to maybe start thinking about that next time. The meta continues to develop, guys, and they're going to find Coupe here, maybe. Oh, yeah, they found him. Oh, yeah. But he was still in the trees.
They actually didn't get vision of him because when the Slardar walks in, he just blinks right over and actually never got vision of the Tidehunter right there, so he just TPs away.
Nice play by Coupe, keeping himself alive. There's that jungle prowess that you were talking about. At least the ability to keep going. Apparently this team's called the Division, DBS.
The Division, it's a great game. One of the Tom Clancy series things. Yeah, it got a lot of bugs and stuff.
All right. Well, 20 minutes in, we have our second Roche done already. That was probably a pretty early Roche, probably around 8-9 minutes or something like that. So good fortune for Sharks as we are. Let's see. Geez, we could possibly even. I wouldn't say Dale's going to get a pike, but he's got a lot in the mobility category here to. And they have so much follow up that this Slard diving in and initiating really doesn't feel that vulnerable this game. It just feels like, well, they've got the Grave, they've got a little bit of heal, they've got some plus armor here and there. It's just a good game to be an initiator, I feel. On the bright side, though, Mambos does pick up a Diffusal. Wait, I totally had that wrong. Even making things even worse for the division, you pick up a Diffusal. We are working on a possible Shivas or something for attacker who has a little more armor and finally has that Yule's done, but well, looks like Coupe might be going down before the fight even starts. This is not what they were hoping. How they were hoping to set this up. He's in the they've got total vision on him in the woods right here with the damage amp, and they're just gonna get him. No problem. They did just get the blink on Pubber though, with an armlet. Hopefully, if they can just get him in a nice big cluster, they can just absolutely turn the team fight. But it has to be almost perfect.
Dire's top tower
Yeah, this game is so difficult, and I highly doubt that Division are going to want to initiate without the Tidehunter Ravage, so that's going to be down for another 25 seconds, and I think by that point, it should probably be at least a tier 3 tower down. I think Ice Armor is going to be very difficult to play against here, but you still have a lot of minus armor from Sharks.
They are pushing with Aegis into every single ult. Every single one of these ults is absolutely huge. God's Strength, there's every single one of them, and they are generally built around teamfight and close quarters, so looks like Sharks are going to respect the fact that these ults are still up, which is kind of difficult too, because you've got Aegis, and you still, without the creep wave, you're kind of feeling a little more intimidated, and random pause is random. But, I don't know, it just feels, this is, I mean, basically the moment of truth right here. This is the time for Division to catch up right here. High ground defense with all their ults up. They couldn't, and they still have the tier 3. Okay, here's the question. Do you go in before the tier 3 drops, or do you just try to get them in a little deeper while they're going for the racks?
I think it definitely has to be deeper. So with the TA having the Aegis, even if you kill her off here, you basically have the rest of Sharks ready to initiate. So I think that you really have to just hope that you can use your chip damage to take down the TA, and then try to just maybe control the rest of the team on the back lines. The thing for the Division is they just don't have too much penetration. Maybe the Tidehunter can get towards the back lines, but he's gonna have to walk for it. And a lot of these ultimates are just kind of stationary. They're going to be around the initiation of your team, and anything that Sharks have on the back lines, it's probably not going to be affected by what the Division have.
Yeah, penetration is something that's really important. Like you mentioned, mainly the Sven is the only one who can get back there. I mean, that's ideal if you can get the frontliners stunned up enough and buy enough time for their Sven to blink in there, stun the backliners like Solari and Sani. But you still have to worry about Grave and stuff, of course. But then you have to deal with him. Hopefully, he can get at least one support kill, dive in there, and then he's just kind of hanging out. He's basically made a sandwich between the front lines and your team, and hopefully he can capitalize on that and hopefully force him away. But I mean, Sharks, I don't think they're going to back off here. I mean, they know it's kind of all or nothing. Maybe they can try and bait out an ult just before a team fight starts, but it doesn't feel like backing off here is really going to benefit them. Like, kind of feels like they just have to go for it anyway.
Yeah, I think one of these teams is definitely up against the wall, and that wall is Sharks. Probably built by Trump as well. It's probably going to get a lot higher too as this game goes on. It's just
got little sharks in the wall, just kind of grabbing at you like. Nah, nah.
That's scary. I would definitely not want to be around that wall.
It's time to make. Well, it's time to make this game great again and get it going. They do have. Let's see, how are they doing on creeps here? Yeah, they're down to. Yeah, they're pretty much out of creeps. So if they want to do anything else with Sharks, they pretty much have to use it with their refraction tank and Shadow Word and all that, which is doing some good here. The ice armor on the. We haven't really pointed that out. The ice armor on the tower, at least this tier 3, it's done nothing on any of the outer towers, but it's actually buying them some critical seconds on these, at least on the tier 3, and also the racks too. It's going to make it harder to take the racks too, especially if they go straight for the melee. I mean, is this so? Go for the ranged and try to overpower the ice armor, or do you want to just go straight for the
I'm not sure. It's going to take a very long time, regardless, to take any of these buildings down. So I think that Division definitely have a lot of time before they decide how they're going to defend this. But Sharks, what they need to look at is which hero they're going to focus on taking down, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to win a fight or take these racks unless they can get one of these heroes down first without having to focus the building. So maybe we see that when the tier 3 goes down, but Sharks need to figure out which one of these heroes is the most important to take down. My bet's probably on the DP. You definitely don't want her ghost around doing damage during this fight.
I kind of wonder, kind of looking at Jalopy right here, and is he holding? You think he's holding on to a pipe, just holding on to the gold for a pipe, or holding on to buyback money? He's holding on to 2K here, and it's just kind of like a pipe would be really useful right about now if you were just kind of suddenly reveal it in the middle of a team fight. Is he playing cheeky, or do you think he's just playing safe and just waiting for buyback?
Which hero are we on?
Jalopy on the Lich, because he's got.
Yeah, he's got
Because
2,000
we've already got
gold
the
and a
Greaves.
buckler.
Yeah, we already got the Greaves. Almost makes me wonder if that was a miscommunication. Maybe they're just going to go for the Crimson Guard, try and block some damage instead of worrying about armor.
I mean, you're basically gonna cut right through that Crimson Guard if you do pick it up because of all the minus armor. I think that. Oh, by the way, the score is Pi right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Isn't
Pi
there,
is
isn't there a
delicious.
Pi Day?
There is
Isn't there a
Pi
Happy
Day.
Pi Day or
It's
something?
on March 14th.
Oh, yeah, figures, right. All right. Moment of truth here. Hubber obviously wants to get to that backline, that penetration, like you were saying. Wants to get behind.
Yeah,
But
attacker's very
it's gonna be
far up
difficult.
right now.
Yeah, they need to. What would really help them a ton is be able to get some of these side traps up on high ground, try to get some vision. But they've done a great job with sentries here. You got sentries on both opposite sides, flanking the towers, so there will be no extra vision for Sharks to jump on anybody. So it's great defensive play. So they'll just respond by spamming side traps wherever they can. Nice defense. The ice armor and the threat of a gajillion teamfight ults is kind of doing the job here. And they're clearing out creep waves fairly easy on attacker. But there we go. Dale coming in, force-staffing himself away after there. Can't quite do the damage, though. Can't quite get the damage done. That extra plate mail's doing some work here. What was with the Yules? That seemed a bit early. If they decide to go, now's the time within like 20 seconds. Well, he doesn't have Yules.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Attacker just really needs to stay a lot safer. I like how Sharks were not initiating fully onto the DP, just because Attacker still has buyback, so even if he dies without the Exorcism being down, it's really not a huge deal.
Oh, Dale gets stopped in his tracks. So there's the Chrono diving forward. Mystic Flare. Goodbye, Attacker. He's going to buy back immediately. Still has his ult. There goes the Ravage. The Golem is dead. And looks like Senny's going to keep himself alive. He's silenced up, but he does get the Grave off just in time. The Chain Frost does nothing. Solari completely juked the Chain. So they're going to lose. Oh, they lose Attacker a second time in a row. Exorcism does literally nothing. Bubba in trouble here. They're just kiting him for days. He can't get on top of anybody. Goodbye Pi. Just blowing up the Pi. There's Pi all over the ceiling. Jesus Christ, the side blade cleave hitting two. Almost two hits, two guys simultaneously, and that's about it. That's the division's run out of this tournament. They've already used the buyback on Attacker. There's just nothing else they can use. The ults are down. Their Wombo is gone, and Sharks, great initiation. Good job catching Attacker. Great play, and this game's just about over, dude.
Yeah, it just goes to show how quickly this game can end. You've got a lot of damage available from Sharks as they try to go for this tower. Dale tries to go for a stun on the Lich, does hit it, but the rest of the team's just like, you know what, man, just end. We're going to make it into the semifinals. It's going to be all good. And, yeah, Sharks looking very dominant as they make their way through this second European qualifier.
And the way this goes, they will go to the semifinals, which is best of 3. And since this is kind of a foregone conclusion here, let's take a look at the brackets here. I'm going to move my way down. I'm still all the way at best of 1024. There was over 500 teams fighting for one spot right now. Just to kind of give you the significance. 500 teams. That's 2,500 plus players. All fighting for one spot. They're going to try and get one last defense here. Unfortunately, they're using everything they have. Big ults are still on cooldown. All they have is God Strength, which means they need a little over a minute just to buy enough time for everybody to use their ults. But it didn't work the first time. They're going to try it again with even like so much gold against them. Literally about 1,000 gold per minute lead for Sharks now. Only one set of racks standing between them in the semifinals. And we're just going to add some more gear here. Slash Strike taking a little bit, just basically shrugging this off. He's got a full BKB now, 9 seconds. Coupe still, I mean, you got to give Division credit. They're not giving up. They're not done. They need to make it to the late game. They can do it with one set of racks. Slash Strike juking, will bounce back. Mambos with a nice chrono again. Mystic Flare, Solari, such a good job this game. I'd call him pretty much MVP of this game, and that's it. Slarsh will move on to the semis.
They actually had a perfect chrono there, taking out 2 heroes that were basically right in line for the Templar Assassin to cleave through them with the side blades. And yeah, in the end, Sanguine Sharks, they ride the minus armor strat to victory. Thought that maybe Division had a bit better of a chance here, but the early game just really did not go nearly well enough. Attacker took way too many deaths on the mid lane, and in the end, Sharks, they come up with the victory, and they just get so much minus armor in that game. It was really tough for Division to stay alive at all.
Yeah, they did a really good job keeping Attacker in check. 0, 8, and 0. I've never seen such a good player have absolutely 0 game impact. 0. I mean, they just absolutely put everything they had on him, and a fantastic job by Sharks. I know I have a boner for these guys, but they took a huge risk, and it panned out for them. So we'll see them in the semis, hopefully. Anything you want to plug before we take a quick break?
No, I think I'm good. I'm ready to get into the semifinals.
All right, let's we'll have a quick break, and then whenever it's up, when the Sharks are going to be playing DK Bears next, and give you an idea with the brackets. We also have Chutoy are awaiting the results of that match. Elab are playing Attacks, and DK Bears playing Friends. No, actually, no, DK Bears won. So yeah, we only got 4. We're gonna have 4 teams left very soon, guys. Stay tuned.
to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty, I can push it back down if I have to. If you want me to, 'cause we can run. And we can run. These stars they fall all for you. So tell me now, what's left to lose if we run?
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're in the semifinals. Over 500 teams over 2 days have competed for a single spot just to qualify for the qualifiers, and we're down to 4. It's Imperial versus Sanguine Sharks in the
10
semifinals
seconds
right now,
remaining.
and it looks like they're going to go with the Sanguine Slarders because this is like the second or
5
third time they
seconds
picked them
remaining.
today. Imperial going to counter with Ogre and a Drow to start things
Radiant
off,
team banned.
and wow, this is going to be a best of 3, guys. This is Kairos, and at the wheel today, doing all the production and all the camera work, and you can direct all your first blood misses. There is going to be Mr. PythianLegume.
Well, I'm not going to be missing any first bloods yesterday.
Oh, that's promise. That's promise, guys.
Well, I didn't miss any yesterday, so we're fine.
10 seconds
Sweet.
remaining.
Sanguine Sharks, yeah, they're definitely one of those fishy teams. They like to go for the Fishmen. They get the
Radiant
Slardar
team
this
banned.
time around. Went for a bit of a minus armor strat in the last match, and it worked pretty well for them. But this time they're going to have to go up against something pretty intense. They're forced to ban out the known Centaur from Imperial, and also the Bat Rider is also
10
very strong for
seconds
them.
remaining.
But they're going to be having to play against the Drow Ranger this time, which is
5
definitely one of
seconds
those
remaining.
heroes that it is tough to play against, and due to the draft, it is going to get through this time
Reserve
around.
time.
Yeah, no Ace Centaur, guys. Sorry, we're not going to see anything crazy like that. No Manta Centaur. It's generally pretty fun to watch, but I'm already concerned about this Drow because they have 2 different ways of getting on top of her. They're going to have to put so much effort into killing her. Okay, we saw a Dazzle on Sharks last team. If they don't wind up getting it, is that like one of the answers to save the Drow at this point?
I mean, it could, but you also have to remember that they already have the Ogre Magi, and bloodlusted heroes that do a ton of damage, such as the Jaw Ranger, definitely going to be something to deal with here. And Jaw Ranger does have a way to get away from these initiations from Sanguine. As long as she isn't stunned up, she's going to have some additional move speed there. So I think that this game is a little bit different than most. They could definitely still use a hero like the Oracle or the Dazzle or the Winter Wyvern to help out here, but I definitely think that the Drow has already some tools at her disposal with just one pick other than her.
I think I'm almost thinking to myself, if Sharks are going to go with the Mirana this time, they've got the
10
OD to set up with a
seconds
guaranteed stun with a guaranteed timer, easy to follow up the arrow, and it would also deny
5
that for the
seconds
Drow.
remaining.
I don't know if Imperial have a lot of Mirana players. I'm sure they do,
Reserve
but
time.
I'm just kind of thinking to myself, there might be some, since they're banning out so many other things that go well with the Drow. I wonder if
Radiant team picked.
there's still other things to slip through. I wonder if they're going to try and force pick instead.
They could, and it would. Okay, there's a Dazzle you were talking
There's a
about.
Dazzle.
Dire team pick.
Good for keeping some of these heroes alive, especially against the huge lockdown from Imperial, and I'm sure they're going to be getting a little bit more, in addition to the Ogre Magi. Jaw Ranger might be able to get a good silence on
10
the Dazzle.
seconds
That's
remaining.
definitely something that Sharks are going to have to worry about. The Dazzle's
5
going to have
seconds
some good
remaining.
positioning here. I think that still Sanguine Sharks, they're going for more of
Reserve
that
time.
minus armor strat, and Imperial really haven't done anything to counter that. They've taken out the PA, which could possibly do well with the strat, but I still think that there are some good minus armor
Radiant
heroes in this
team
in the pool.
We haven't had a lot of luck with casting Warlock games, have we, so far today? Like usually on the losing team, right?
Yeah, he is pretty good with the ultimate, but the problem is that it
10
just takes so
seconds
long
remaining.
to get that one back up. This game again
5
though is really
seconds
different
remaining.
because you have a Draw Ranger. So Warlock has one of the better attacks for supports in the game, and
Reserve time.
it's going to be pretty instrumental in zoning out the Slardar for Sharks if they choose to lane him against the Imperial safe lane.
Ace still needs a frontliner here, and they need a frontliner so bad for Imperial right now to get in front. I mean, Ogre's not bad, but ideally you want someone else who can really just get up in their face and just keep the pressure off the Drow. So they don't have a Centaur. Any other thoughts on who they could go with for just giving the Drow a little bit of room to shoot?
I think there are actually a ton of heroes. They may even decide to go for an Alchemist here. Kind of counteract the minus armor of Sharks. Force them to fight inside the Acid Spray with the Warlock ultimate as well as the Alchemist. He's going to be getting his farm up pretty quickly. And you might even be able to
Dire
buff up the
team
Jaw Ranger with an Aghanim Scepter. I think the minus armor from Sharks is a little bit worrying for an Alchemist, but it's possible that they get him to tank up a little bit. There are some probably. I think the main
10
tank for
seconds
Imperial is probably going to be
remaining.
the offlaner though, and there are a lot that go well with draw
5
pushes,
seconds
such as the
remaining.
Faceless Void or the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Reserve time.
And well, Sharks are no stranger to dealing with the one thing is they warmed themselves up against those big cooldown ults on that high ground push we saw about 5 minutes ago. Did a really good job with that. So I wonder if Imperial are keen to that. I think they're probably more focused on going from one game to the next, maybe catching a glimpse of the draft. But I don't think they had a lot of time to watch that Sharks game, if any. Kunkka comes out a little bit different here. Slash Strike Kunkka maybe, or do you think it's going to be Solari roaming around?
I think it's most likely going to be a Solari Kunkka. Celery Kunkka. Got to get your vegetables in there. Yeah, I think his Skywrath Mage played extremely well in the last match, and I think the Kunkka can be a very similar here. You've got the AoE spells in. It's going to be pretty good for stopping the pushes from Imperial. You definitely need that hero that's good for clearing out the creep waves.
Yeah, good for clearing creeps. Good for honestly, it's good for setting up the Slard Crusher. It's going to be easy for Dale to get crushes off on this. Pretty much, they've got 2 almost guaranteed ways to just set it up for him. Okay, that's sort of okay.
Radiant
That's
team
she's gonna be putting out a ton of freaking damage with Focus Fire if she can get an Aghanims. But again, same with Sharks. Look like they kind of want to get this over with sooner. As Imperial's still going to need to tank up. They are squishy as hell. I got 3 intelligence heroes.
Yeah, they are definitely very
10
squishy,
seconds remaining.
and they are working pretty well around the draw range here. They're going to be taking towers down
5
quick,
seconds remaining.
and I think Sanguine Sharks can definitely afford to pick up a little bit more wave clear for them.
Reserve time.
But, well, when they are able to get onto this Imperial lineup, who
Dire team
are admittedly very experienced, and they've been putting up some good results as of late. Unfortunately, having to play through the open qualifier because of their lineup changes, but it would definitely be very upsetting for Imperial if they don't make it to the regional quali, because
10 seconds
it's
remaining.
just a place for a lot of the top European teams to be, and it's very unfortunate because of roster changes that Imperial aren't there.
Yeah, it's this is their last shot for the European. I don't think I don't know if they're in the NA Dota, also known as YOLOPian at this point.
10 seconds
I know Power
remaining.
Rangers are in there, a couple other ones. Actually, I think about half of the surviving
5
field is,
seconds
if not
remaining.
more, are European. I don't know if Imperial's in there though. I think because they're still in this one.
Reserve time.
Can you even play in 2 qualifiers at once? That's weird. I don't even know if you can.
I don't think we had anybody like dual qualified for the second day of qualifiers.
That'd be a hell of a grind too. You got a lot of games to play, especially in day one. This one, not so much. We are doing a best of 3 here, guys. So if things don't work out, there's still a second life for either team. Imperial. This is mostly region. This is mostly a country battle. Sharks mostly from Germany, and Imperial pretty much all Danish. They went under Danish bears under this, but they're Imperial. Okay, wow, this is squish. This is 4 intelligence heroes. Where's that anti-mage?
I mean, it might be
Do you think they
coming
got
up.
room for it?
There's definitely room for it here.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think they let themselves get out drafted on Imperial.
10
But
They're
actually,
putting
I wouldn't
everything-
want to go for it here, just because there are so many pushing heroes for Imperial.
5
So I have
seconds
major
remaining.
doubts about whether the carry for, especially if it's an anti-mage, whether it's going to be able to get
Reserve time.
online fast enough. I
How
would be very
about-
careful.
Well, they did good with the Mombles faceless, and that's a good option here. And he's still in the pool. I don't think we've seen a lot of Sven today. Do you think against all these range heroes, Sven would be able
10
to
seconds
get in there like he
remaining.
wants to?
I think he's going to be kited a lot.
5
I still think
seconds
that
remaining.
Sven does take a little bit longer to get
Luna.
online. Yeah, I think Luna's a bit better of a pick. You get better wave clear
Yeah.
with it as well.
And these guys are very vulnerable to magic damage. They have low hit point pools for the most part. If everybody doesn't like stock up on raindrops, I think that was one of Attacker's undoings, and that one game we just casted. Attacker went 0-8-0. When does that ever happen on such a good player? They completely obliterated him. I mean, one of the reasons was raindrops would have been really helpful there, and it's going to be incredibly helpful this game.
Yeah, the Death Prophet was very underwhelming in the last match, and I think this game the drafts are a little bit more even. I think Imperial could get, if they don't end the game pretty quickly, I think that we might be seeing Sharks play very well this match. They definitely have a lot of scaling that could be done.
10 seconds remaining.
But again, this one, when you have a lineup that is so
5
focused
seconds
on pushing
remaining.
early, it's all about the first 10 minutes, the first 15 of laning, how fast these players can get their farm, and if there are any deaths.
All right, so who do you care to introduce today, Mr. Production Manager?
I'll probably just go with Sharks and let you pick up the Imperial guys. So here on the Radiant side
Alrighty.
for Sharks, it's going to be a Dazzle handled by Sani. We've got an OD going over to the mid lane played by Slash Strike. It's going to be a Solari Kunkka, looking mighty classy there with his fur coat. Luna will be handled by Mambos. And finally, the Slardar in the off lane is going to be Dale.
Can't forget that monocle and the epic man beard on the Kunkka too. Looking very snazzy. All right, so for the Danish Bears, also known as Imperial, we've got Baby Knight on the silencer. Seems to be a core silencer. I think we're seeing
he's
more of that these
T-bowing.
days. What's it?
I think he's T-bowing right now.
Oh, nice. So Ace, he doesn't get, but he's actually going the complete opposite of a Centaur. Goes for a Drow instead. It's normally I always see him on something big and tanky, but we'll see how he does on the Drow. Nuya is going to be on your Ogre Magi, watching out for him, as well as Joe Rotten. And finally, Rise on the Support Warlock. What do you think's going mid here? Is it going to be Joe or Baby Knight? Just based on the draft here, would they change it up at all?
I think it should be a Baby Knight mid and then Wind Ranger in the off lane.
Yeah, it seems doable. They're definitely going to need to put the Ogre and the Wind Ranger at least between the mid and the top lane, just to have that cover for just about everybody. Just to look out for Baby Knight and to look out for Ace, because God knows they're going to go after him. Sharks are just going to charge. It's not the biggest charging lineup that we saw as previously, but it's still pretty solid. Dale's going to be wanting to get on top of people aggressively. We've got some long range stuns here too. We've got the Imprisonment lost a little bit of range in a nerf, but you've still got the Lucent Beam. You've got the X. You got a lot of ways. And one of the things Imperial's going to have to watch out for is they're going to have to kind of huddle the tower a little bit more often than usual if they're out alone, because otherwise Solari's just going to come running for him. They're going to X him, and then they'll probably bring in, well, Slash Strike and Solari alone could probably just get a kill on any one person.
Yeah, they do have a couple of strong combos that are definitely very scary to deal with. Kunkka is definitely known for being a presence on the main mid lane, and if he is able to hit a couple of torrents in the early game, could definitely turn things around for Sharks. But both teams really just want to get their farm done early. Imperial, they're going to try not to take any deaths, although they shouldn't be too scared about having some kind of aggression. They do have all that Draw Ranger, bonus damage with the Precision Aura. And
30 seconds.
Sharks, they really just want to get their farm down as well. So we'll see how much aggression there actually is in the early game, and then what that turns into for the teams. Imperial known for being pretty aggressive, and their lineup and their style tends to dominate a lot of teams. So we'll see if Sharks get caught out in that this time around.
They were there was a great ward up top that got barely, like if you look at the edge of this, right about here was where that ward was that Imperial was just able to knock out. Sharks got a ward advantage off of that attempt against Division, and doesn't work out for him here, but he got a 3-on-1 on Dale. Looks like nice crush, gets 2. They're going to nice defensive torn, will catch 1, but that's enough to send him back in. So they will save Dale this time. No first blood given up. They did get first blood and first 10 kills on the Division, so I think they're going to feel the urge to do it. A question for you. So who has, like, we got some roamers on both teams here. You got the Ogre running around. You got Solari running around. Who has, like, the best, like, level 2 advantage right now? Who do you think is going to have the edge in about 2 minutes?
I would probably give the edge over to Imperial at 2 minutes, just because they will be having more damage with the Draw Ranger Aura.
Okay. Looks like... Yeah, no, it was given quite a lot of bullying to Solari there just a second ago. We do have Tri-Lane versus Dual Lane. Another Torrent come off. Wash Annoy off a little bit more, a little stinky. So Joe is going to be getting most of the farm down here, and look for some shackles. There's a lot of ways to set up some sweet shackles this game too, but I think Sharks honestly have the initiation advantage. They've got a little bit more. The silences against Sharks it really sucks. You've got a silencer, and then you've got Gust. So both teams have a lot of ways to turn team fights around. Very diverse draft, and this is just game 1.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot more Dota to play here.
Yeah, with grand finals will also be best of 3, so no best of 5 there. So minimum 4 games, maximum 6 games. Wait, did I do that right? Yeah, maximum 6 games left to play in the EU qualifiers. Number 2. So Baby Knight taking a lot of hits on Slash Strike. Got the glaives up. Interesting. Like I'm looking at his his skills, like the skill icons and stuff like that. I haven't seen that before. All right, so Joe's having a pretty good time here. Mambos getting some decent farm. He had great farm in the first game. He did come out for a nice chrono in game 1, or well, the game against Division. Did have a nice chrono there, starting things off before too early. I think it was about level 6 or 7. Got a kill with it, and he's, I mean, level 6 for Mambos. This is gonna be, just look for it. It's gonna be brutal.
Got your double damage in on Kunkka.
Nice. Unfortunately, he's taking weight. They just completely zone him out. Good job. Before you can get anything going, before you can even get Tidebringer, which isn't even leveled yet. Good job just zoning him out. They pretty much, yeah, he's out of regen, so they got to watch themselves. He's going to have half of his hit point bar if they want to go in him. Oh, nice combo on Mambos. Defensive Torrent will save the day, as well as the bad touch slowing things down. Oh, and Lucent Beam as well. Looks like the win run is going to be enough to get him out of there, though. No kills yet at 3 minutes. Want to go back in. He has no more regen on Slayer. This is incredibly aggressive. Heal Bomb will help save the day. Nice. Mambos pick it up with the Lucent Beam, getting first blood right there. Might get second blood, but this Ogre still has a lot of regen. He's got 2 Fairy Fires. Nice juking back and forth. He was waiting for the Torrent. Finally comes in, but he's taking too much damage in the meantime. Finally, X marks the spot, comes out, but Joe has respawned. And wow, look at all of Shark's health bar there. They have to stop. They have to stop for a second.
Yeah, they're going a bit too ham there. Kunkka just denies himself so that he can get back to base a little bit faster.
Yeah, the Curse doing a lot of work on Slash Strike. He's going to get the imprisonment off on him. On Baby Knight, he is going to go for it. Dale's here. Combo stun, so easy to set it up. And Second Blood, despite the Fairy Fire, will be all for naught. Second Blood going to Sharks. Nice combo. Pretty easy to set up. Pretty cut and dry. Or cut and wet, depending on how you want to look at these heroes.
Yeah, Kunkka's basically all wet.
Yeah. Sharks liking to do the whole water theme in this qualifier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm
Alright,
into
so-
that. I'd hit that.
So, if you guys are watching a game, you can join us on twitch.tv/Kyrus Commentary. I got PythianLegume handling all the production stuff. It's basically like I'm doing, I'm doing practically nothing today. I gotta say, I'm pretty much living the dream here. So, we'll figure out what sexual favors I'm gonna need to owe him later. But for now, he's got the camera work. He's got all this stuff going for you. Be sure to, well, we'll get your plugs and all that stuff soon. Wow, you're scaring me there, Dale. Back to base with you.
Yeah,
Another
Dale's
stun
just
on Joy.
doing the jungle thing. He's got the Iron Town, and he knows exactly how far he can go. I'm not really thinking that Imperial should be doing too much. Oh, sounds from the mid lane.
Nope, got him again. 3-man committed does pay off. The Curse. Whoa, nice. Beautiful power shot by Joe. So we'll get 1 for 1. Both mids going down. Well, actually, no. 1 mid going down in exchange for a support. So they do get some payback, but still Sharks coming out a little bit ahead on that.
Yep, just a little. They picked down the enemy core, which is definitely worth it here. And Imperial, they might have tried to get something out off of that, but they're just going to go with the drop push top, which is doing a lot along with the Warlock.
Oh yeah, we're not nowhere close to a golem, but we won't need it. We don't even have, honestly, we don't even have marksmanship. But since there's so much action mid and bottom, Ace is doing a good job of taking advantage of it. Dale will have to retire from his brief jungle run and come back to the lane with the help of Senny. It will buy the tower sometime, but another creep wave or 2 later, and this is going to be gone.
Yeah, they definitely needed the Dazzle to rotate over here, so Dazzle's going to be taking a little bit of an extended stay over at top, just to make sure that they don't get the tower gold too early, but that does create a little bit of space elsewhere on the map.
There's a lot of magical burst damage here, but both mids have finally picked up raindrops, so we won't see the 0-8 and 0 mid situation. It's going to be a little easier this time. Regen for Slash. Got it in the tank. He's pretty much full as it is. Anybody else going to come? Yep, we got Senny coming around with the bad touch on the side, but it's still a little too close to that tower. Creep wave needs to come up a little bit, but he's not letting it get there. Meanwhile, Ace free farming like crazy. Mambo's about a little over a dozen last hits behind him. All things considered, could be worse. Joe's actually having a pretty good run with the last hits as well in the offlane situation, so look for him to be making some plays soon. He's already got raindrops. He's already got phase boots. You might come in here and... Well, he's almost 6. It's really tempting. No, looks like that tower will finally drop up top.
Yeah, no chance, especially with the marksmanship on Drow Ranger.
Radiant's top tower has
It's very
fallen.
easy to take that down. For some deep woods here, actually.
Let's take a look at that. Yep, mostly in the mid here. Imperial. Yeah, there's pretty much mirror image wards almost here. Baby Knight shrugging off the imprisonment. Taking some more pure damage uphill. Another imprisonment comes out. Noya wants to help out. Basically playing bodyguard, washing him off with a torrent. For a second, you know, it kind of it's a bit confusing because the stun bars often look like an extra health bar that's kind of like, as it
Taking
drains
down
out, you're
really
just like,
fast.
yeah. Like like it's just absorbing a whole bunch of damage or something like that. Astral for days. We have no stolen intelligence yet. Like, didn't we see this earlier? It was a mid OD versus a mid silencer, and they were
Yeah.
stealing intelligence back and forth. So current advantage going to Slash Strike because nobody's died yet near Baby Knight. Yeah, I think the mid in that game they got first blood with them.
Yeah, they got a lot more kills and aggression on to the silencer early. It didn't really work out.
You know,
Almost
down
taking
bottom,
the Luna
Mambos.
bottom.
Woo.
Oh.
Joe getting a solo 1 versus 2, then 1 versus 3. Still gets a kill. Nice double shackle, but yeah, there's still too much magical damage. I think Wind Run, oh, it's coming off cooldown, but no mana. Might be enough to get X coming off. Oh, that's a long cooldown. Might get a long-range torrent. Can he lead the shot? Nope. Looks like he's going to go ahead and turn around. Clean kill by Joe. Nice play.
Yeah, he also got a great shackle shot underneath the tower, which stopped the Kunkka from getting the X back into Torrent, which would have killed off the Wind Ranger. Instead, she gets the Fairy Fire off and gets away from them. A pretty good escape. Even without those TPs, I think she would have survived.
Well, Baby Knight taking a lot of extra damage in here. We're already down to... Wait a minute. He had... Yeah, his... Looks like Noya's going down here. Global Silence does come out. Buy some time. Turn this back around. Baby Knight has gone through an entire... At almost 9 minutes, gone through an entire stack of raindrops already, so it definitely paid off for him, but man, the time... You got to debate. Like, do I want to go ahead and chip in and get more? Is this going to be worth it? It's like I've already dropped so much money on it.
It is pretty worth it, especially when you're coming out of the Astral Prison. It's gonna be doing a lot of damage to you. It's at level 4 right now, doing 325 damage before reductions. It's gonna be very important that you're able to get around it, and you really don't want to be taken down too much by the OD. You need to be getting as much health as possible as a silencer for your team, just because you don't really want to be going down anytime soon.
They've been smoked up for a little bit here. They're actually going to 3-man smoke while we're in 2-mans. And oh, this went horribly wrong. They're going to lose Senny. Slash Strike does have a haste ring. He's going to pop and get out of there. Mambo's popping an emergency eclipse. Really doesn't connect on anything. Now he's in trouble. Slowed down by the ignite. Just a defensive imprisonment, but it's 4-on-1. He's gone. Nice turn by Imperial, and they got the drop on. You know, they just basically Sharks blinked first. Put it that way.
Yep. Sharks just lined up like a bunch of bowling pins, ready for the shackle shot of the Wind Ranger, and well, it turns into a pretty easy kill after that, as you just set it up with the stun.
A little bit of alley-oop there, so they're already working on tier 2s here. Mid-tier 1 still stands, it's healthy, but taking advantage of the fact that Sharks are kind of just basically doing as much split push as they can under this Drow Assault, which you now have. Yeah, you got a Wind Ranger. I mean, both of the Archer babes. You're gonna have looks like we're gonna go with Force Staff first. He wants to get the shackles off. More focused on controlling than damage, which honestly I don't think is a bad play against Sharks. They have a lot of ways to deal with you. Baby Knight with double damage pushing up the mid. Should go down pretty quickly. They do have the rock as well. Looks like Sharks are going to respect it and just clean up their other lanes.
Yeah, this is basically a free push. You have the Bloodlust on Draw Ranger increasing the attack speed. She's got the Dragon Lance as well. Very survivable, doing a lot of damage from quite far away. I think they just back up and do Roshan right now. And with the double damage on Silencer, it should go down pretty quickly.
Yeah. 765 range on the Drow with Bloodlust. That's pretty scary. You also have Gust. It makes it harder to get in there and easier to do Gust as well. This is not where you want to be as a Drow, though, however. It looks like they're signaling to go in. They know they're doing Rosh. Pinging it out. Looks like they want to make a move. Smoke, possibly. Are they going to be able to react fast enough to this? Probably not. It's already gone.
They do have a boat, but only the Klunk is going over there. Yeah, it's going to be too slow.
A little too slow. Nice job by Imperial cleaning that up. All the outer towers down.
That's how strong a Bloodlust is. You can take down towers extremely quickly. You have a team that works very well around the Drow Ranger, and you have the Ogre Magi buffing them up. Basically the dual buff strat. Doing a lot of work here, and Imperial, it shows. They have the Drow Ranger on top of net worth, and well, the net worth lead at 12 minutes is 5,000. That's pretty strong for a game that only has 7 kills in it.
Yeah, so about a 400 gold lead per minute for Imperial, give or take 50. Sharks trying to do some work here, but you can see they're obviously not as built to push. They're built to fight, and Imperial are closing in from multiple directions here to try and deter them. Makes me wonder, it's getting tantalizingly close. Joe will push him back with the little power shot. Should do a job. Slash will get himself out. Oh no, there's that Force Staff trying to move in. Get a shackle. Cancels the TP. Oh my god, I'm out of breath for this one. And just goodbye. Just timing just a little off. And they're also going to get Senny. I guess he was coming back to try and save him or something.
Maybe. But they are getting the Drow Ranger at bottom. Oh, the Silence. Just getting him out. Wasn't able to get the crush off. So Drow Ranger gives up the Aegis for a little bit of damage to the tier 2 at bottom, but they take 2 kills off of it, and Imperial definitely coming on top of that one.
Yeah, Sharks, though, what helps them the most right now is time, and they're definitely getting a little bit more. Mambos, a little bit more in the stat column, could use a Dragon Lance of his own. I'm not sure if anything's on the Courier. Let's see. Doesn't look like it. So Dale getting a little bit more. He picked up the Blink first. He rushed that first, so kind of showing the confidence that they have with their initiations right now. Unfortunately, Senny, probably wishing he had more points in the Shallow Grave right about now, because he has just been, let's see, like the last 2 or 3 kills have been on him. Plus the very fortunate the Force Staff into Shackles, which resulted in Slash Strike going down. Here we go. There's that Blink Crush, catching 2. Nice Torrent to help follow up things. There's the Rock Drop. Woo! Here we go, blowing him up with a Heal Bomb. That's Larry helping out with that one. They're going to get the Golem very quickly with the damage amp. X marks back. They're going to catch Baby Knight if they want that Drow. Chasing him down. That's 3 down. They're just completely rolling him over here. Absolutely nothing they can do. Nice job, even with the Rock Drop. Just completely counter-initiated. Beautiful crush by Dale. Beautiful follow-up with the Torrent. And right back, just like that, they're right back in it.
Absolutely fantastic crush by Slaughter. Set up that whole fight for Sharks. They do so much damage right off the bat with the Torrent and the boat combo right after the crush. And from that point forward, it's just so difficult for Imperial to stay alive. You thought this game was possibly going in favor of Imperial, but just one fight takes this one right back to Sharks. And well, they're sitting pretty right now. They get in a fight that they absolutely needed for their OD. They really needed to get the team working together there, and they see that their combo actually works. But the challenge here is going to be getting Imperial to walk that into that again, and it's going to be a lot rougher the next time around.
Yeah, Imperial, they're kind of licking their wounds here. They're kind of like, okay, let's not do that again. We got a little cocky. We pushed forward without Aegis. I believe the Drow was caught forward and got picked off very quickly in the fight. I was saying they want the Drow. They already had him. So Dale will pick up a Haste Rune, get a little bit more farm here. He's closing in on that huge level 2 damage amp, which is another 5 armor down Mambosa. He's going to pick up a Dragon Lance pretty soon. And luckily, Senny survived that fight, so he picks up the experience he needs for at least the Weave, help get things started up. But Imperial, we got 2 Force Staffs coming out soon. What else we got here? We got... Man, we got a little bit of extra smoke. I do like... Okay, I gotta say this. What has cursed me, or sort of a caster's curse, I've only casted like 3 games where the Ogre Magi was on the winning team in the last couple months, and there's been a lot of Ogre games. It's usually when they max Bloodlust first and didn't get any extra points, like they just do like 1, 1, and 3. They did 1, 2, and 2, and it seems to be helping a lot more for him. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, the Ogre works a lot with this lineup, and saying it a little bit here. Actually, someone might be getting caught out, but just see the Bloodlust at work in this next go around. And they just missed it.
Oh, Mambos. Oh, Mambos. Mambo number 4. Well, at least number 4 people coming to gank you anyway. Clean
That's
kill.
number 3. This Loon is just so far behind. It's really a problem, the lack of farm that she has. She just picked up her Dragonlance, and she's getting some okay levels, going for 3 into the Glaives, 1 into Lunar Blessing, not really helping her team so much with that one. And she's really forcing the rest of the team to put her on their back because she's just been shut down for the beginning of this match.
Yeah, it didn't help that in that team fight where they got 4 kills, I don't think if one at most went to her or went to Mambos, because he's currently 1, 3, and 4, so pretty much all assist gold rolling in off that fight instead of kill gold, which would have made a huge difference. Ace up top wants to get Slash Strike, just a few more hits. Oh, there's that. Just, oh no, not again, not against the trees like this. Doesn't even need the shackles this time. And Senny, this is pretty much looking like a repeat of a couple minutes ago. They lose their OD and their Dazzle up in the top lane, just a little deeper this time. But Imperial, yeah, not enough respect being shown to their towers.
At least it makes space for the Luna, right? It's just like, you have a couple of heroes there. Drought Ranger just picked up her Shadow Blade, so they weren't really expecting someone from Imperial to show up like that. But the Vision one wasn't too good there either, so they definitely should have been thinking that someone from Imperial would have been showing up soon.
And speaking of showing up, the Golem is back up. Or if they want to use it for a gank or for a push at this point. Mambos is kind of out and about all alone. Do they see the rest of the team? They're going to go ahead and drop the rock on Mambos. They're going to take the chance. They've got 2 here. They've got 2 Force Staffs now. That maybe Knight's going to use it to move forward. Should be enough to burn him down before he gets out of dodge. Right as it hits 0. Is pretty much his hit point pool. It pretty much bottoms out the same time the timer for the TP comes in. First 10 going to Imperial. Ooh, Senny. God, Senny is just getting bullied. 0-5 and 3.
Yeah, Imperial just working with the map a little bit better. Ooh, nice crush, but...
Nice crush. The dust to follow things up in the X. Ace, you're not going anywhere, buddy. They can counter-initiate, though, and pop the silence. Buy some more time for him, but he's in the trees, but they see him. Shadow Word won't save you. Too much negative armor coming at you. That Strike's going to buy some more time with an imprisonment, and looks like they're getting out of dodge on the Shark side. But it's interesting that the Fatal Bonds is actually working like a tracer. You can kind of tell where they're going to, like which direction they're headed, and it gives them a chance to try and get some more kills, but they decide to respect it. They lost their Drow. They're not going to go any deeper without him.
Yeah, it would have been really nice for Imperial if they had managed to get the OG on the high ground there, but a pretty big kill on the Drought Ranger given over to Sharks again, and they are staying pretty well into this one. They're not really being intimidated by Imperial at all. They're not just taking their gold deficit because of the towers and kind of curling up and dying with it. They're really going into it right now, and they're not being overly aggressive. They're just using the right amount and trying not to get picked off. That's really the essential part in this match.
Yeah, it's so easy to pick off so many of these guys. Like almost everybody on Imperial are very squish. Speaking of which, yep, there's another catch. They're going to bring out the boat. Not going to use anything else, but Dale realized that he's pretty much going to get out of dodge. Nice Shallow Grave, keep things going. Senny's going to sacrifice himself like a boss. Fist bump to all the hard 5s out there. Nice play. It probably wasn't necessary, but it's nice to have that insurance anyway.
It's motivation. Motivation for finishing the TP faster.
Just like, look at your battered partner with his teeth all knocked out, and he's just looking at you with his finger up in the air all broken. He's like, go get him, guys. And he just falls over dead, and you're just like, we'll avenge you.
Well, the avenging is going to have to wait a little bit because the Dazzle does have to respawn first. I think that Sharks are doing pretty well with keeping these lanes pushed out. They're going to be using the X very well here, just to make sure that they're not going to get caught out with their pants down. As long as Kunkka isn't the one going out too hard. He actually hasn't gone for any points in the Tidebringer, which is pretty interesting. His team definitely does need the X for the tower defense, but I think that the Tidebringer definitely would be doing a little bit of damage. I guess he figures when he's going for the mechanism, there's really no point in picking up the Tidebringer at all.
Yeah, you're going to be too far in the back lines most likely. And I think it's interesting too that he went Max Torrent versus Max X. That extra 200 range is nothing to sneeze at. And plus you get a lower cooldown. You'll be able to X every 8 seconds, so you can use it twice in a team fight easily. But it does, and versus the, you get more damage, you get a longer stun on the Torrent. I guess they're more reliant on just being able to land
they
it on
catch out the
Imperial.
Jaw Ranger
Nice.
again.
God damn, catching everybody. How many times is he going to blink crush people? I mean, you could make a drinking game out of it practically.
It's
So,
a really
but
great
they're not
sentry.
deterred. They're not deterred. They'll at least back up to the remains of the tier 1. See if they can bait him out a little bit here. We got a rock coming up the backside possibly. Rise is waiting for an opportunity to drop it. They've got some pretty decent vision here. They've got it by the side, by the Ancients. They can see Dale ready to drop with his crazy Megatron-looking helmet. And they feel comfortable enough to push up. They've got the rock as an insurance policy. They feel, but like, they're kind of short on some frontliners for this, aren't they? They just kind of need one of those. They don't really go up there and tank tower hits when necessary. So they're just kind of waiting for pickoffs.
Yeah, they just have to wait for Sharks to make a misstep here, but both teams are really just looking for that mistake. I think Imperial will eventually take down the tower, but we got to smoke up here from Sharks.
Yeah, base still, oh wow, pumping that tower down, pumping the jam. Now it's in deny range. They might go ahead and get the deny. Oh, wow, Dale coming in, skating himself away. Unfortunately, they're going to oh, they caught. Oh my god, they caught Mambos. Oh my god, the Slash Strike getting caught out too. This is not what I was expecting from Sharks. They played so well around Big Holes last time. Nice defensive boat. Might catch Baby Knight. Tower will finish the job. So they get something to show for it. 3 for 1. But what a catch on Mambos way out here. Where was he going with that? It seemed, this doesn't seem like the kind of play that we saw when they were defending high ground against, or they were pushing high ground against 4-5 monstrous ults. See, that was a, like you said, they're waiting for the misstep. Sharks made it.
Yeah, they actually, it was just a really good silencer ultimate. They thought they needed to go around the side, and the silencer was just on point. He managed to get the ult off at the right moment before the Slider could get the initiation off, which at that point definitely would have been a good fight for Sharks, but Imperial avoid that, and yeah, it's time for them to back up now, possibly get a Roshan.
Dale has made so many good plays here, but I really want to talk about Joe this game. He's done a really good job. The Force Staff was a fantastic first pickup. Just, he's all about mobility, he's all about disables, getting those stuns off and letting Ace come in and help finish the job, and everybody else with range damage. The utility he's providing has really turned everything back on Imperial's favor. And he just got a nice shackle shot against one of 2 trees up on the high ground against Sharks, helping get Dale one more time.
Yep, sometimes Shackle Shot is a good spell. OS Frog.
Sometimes, well, I'd say one of the more interesting nerfs they did to it was the angle, where you get the connecting shackle on it, and sometimes it just doesn't feel like that. That never kicked in. All right, here comes the smoke. Sharks are not taking this line down. They're bringing the whole party to this. They're gonna catch 2. Oh, they caught the Drow out with the counter initiation. They caught Wind Ranger. They caught Joe, but he's actually built to last. He's going to take almost the entire Eclipse Barrage from Mambos. We'll go down. We'll be the first casualty of this. We basically have a Microsoft screensaver with all of the Fatal Bonds going back and forth. Slash Strike pretty much going to go down. He's going to buy some more time himself. Can't get the Shallow Grave in time, so it's 2 for 2. Or 1 for 1, excuse me. Math is hard. And they're going to get Dale, leaving them pretty much sacrificial fish. Sacrificial. Yeah. Sacrificial lamb. And that's going to open up Roche once more, which is back up.
Yep. And, you know, with the Wind Ranger in the Invis rune, that was probably, you know, even with that, that was probably the best fight that Sharks could have hoped for. Like, maybe with the Wind Ranger isn't there, they catch her out a little bit easier, they don't have as much vision. But that was really a good fight from Sharks. It just took a little bit too long. They didn't quite hit the... It was really good. The boat hit onto a lot of people. It did a lot of zoning. It just takes a little bit longer to take some of these heroes down.
Yeah, the rock drop didn't look that glorious, but it did do enough. It did stun about 1 or 2 people. It kind of split the field a little bit. It ensured that basically Slash Strike was a little isolated. and it did the job. It wasn't pretty, but it did the job. Yeah, he's not picking up. No, he is. God damn, he is looking good right now. Silver Edge, Pike, Bloodlust for days. Let's see, he's pumping out. Let me take a look at the damage he's pumping out. Without any crits or anything, probably pumping out almost 600 damage a second. That's insane. And they're doing a good job of saving him. He's never getting caught out. He's always got help with him. That's the big thing, that Imperial are playing their little formations and stuff very well. They're just doing a good job of making sure that he's not the one caught. They caught the Wind Ranger instead of the Drow, which is not the way you want to go. And it still took almost a full eclipse just to bring Joe down. So Imperial's positioning has been really good this game.
Yeah, they've been really good working around this. Other than getting caught out a few times by the boat, they've just been really dominant, and the Silence Ultimates have been really a large part of why Imperial are doing well. Same with the Wind Ranger, just the control in general.
So moving down once more with Aegis in hand. Only 1 hour to tower remains. All these drafts, surprisingly, I mean, especially with the best of ones coming up to this, a lot of teams don't seem to be afraid to go with a heavy push strat these days. It's been so in the meta that teams are comfortable putting their entire tournament life on the line with it. Imperial, if this is a best of 3, so they're just going to see if they can get away with this one and move on with a game advantage. It looks to be that way, though. We got Eclipse back up. Mambos can get back in a hurry. We've almost got possible Sanjin Yasha. Not really sure what he... Oh, actually, what are we building here on their Luna?
Honestly, is she going for a Sanjin Yasha just because she needs some more survivability, getting blown up too much in these fights? Very unfortunate. And it looks like Sharks are just wasting everything.
Yeah, both coming out hitting nothing. Tier 3 already down to almost a third. They just cannot stop this juggernaut that is Ace, just firing arrows like Robin Hood. Going to come out a little bit more. Slash Strike coming in while Silence just cannot get out there. He's got a pike of his own, but they just can't position him the way he wants to. He doesn't have a blink. Dale doing a good job splitting the field a little bit. Mambos out here, so the clip's still ready to go, but they caught him. What a shackle! Is that even real? What a shackle by Joe. Good lord, so they're going to move up once more. Mambos buying back. We can still have Eclipse, and here it comes. They're going to counter with the rock drop. Eclipse pretty much takes... Oh, the Golem takes the entire Eclipse. Only one dead. And Luna, they're going to lose Mambos once again, most likely. This imprisonment is backfiring. Baby Knight, and we got 3 or 4 kills in a row. My god, that's good game called. So game 1 going to Imperial. A fantastic performance, Sharks. Nice start and everything, but Imperial just completely out-positioning in the mid-game every time.
Yeah, that was basically the Imperial aggression that we know and love. They pick up a Drow strat that is just supposed to run right through your towers and get into your head, get into your base, and get into your Ancient, and they worked pretty well as a team. They had some really good positioning, which you absolutely need when you have so many ranged heroes, and I think that the Bloodlust was like a pretty big part of that. They had a lot of attack speed because of it, and the move speed also increased as well. Had the right amount of control, right amount of damage, and in the end, Imperial just come up with the game 1 victory.
Yeah, props to Joe, pretty much the MVP for... The last Shackle was absolutely retarded, I have to say, but it was everything leading up to it. Good Shackles, good positioning, good job. So we got game 2 coming up for you in just a second. We're in the semifinals, and only 4 teams remain for that one coveted qualifier spot in the last EU for Boston.
Words.
Yay, words. Imperial so far, but makes counter initiation a
10
breeze.
seconds remaining.
They did a good job keeping Ace up. They'll probably, if anything,
5
I kind of wonder if
seconds
it's going to be
remaining.
Ace on the sniper or if they're whoever's going to be going to the safe lane. They did a good job just protecting him, just
Reserve
kind of
time.
stuffing him up there and just leaving him up there, and maybe putting some more pressure on the mid or something like that. Because it worked for him last game.
Yeah, this sniper, it's going to be super interesting. I've seen a lot of teams have some kind of success with it. These weren't the most high skill games, but I definitely think that Imperial are going to be experienced with the hero. And Bloodlust, man, it's a spell, and I'm definitely a huge fan of it. There are a couple of jokes being made about, Ogre Magi basically just going around bloodlusting people the entire game, which is basically his job. It's a strong spell, and it can definitely do a lot for your team.
Kind of like how Secret was all about, like, hey, we're going to take Magnus just for the empower. That's all we want. That's all we care about. Just run around spamming that on people. So Solari on the Bane, I'm thinking, really easy to set up crushes and stuff. The Slar did get banned out, so maybe Dale have to go with an
10
axe or something like that.
remaining.
Not sure what they're going to go yet. This is a pretty
5
funky draft. There's a lot of
remaining.
combo potential that hasn't quite been. There's a lot of wombo, but there's not a lot of wombo
Reserve
combo yet.
time.
Got a lot of wombo, not too much combo. I like it. Maybe the combo comes later in the draft. And even then, Asher in the last match, the wombo combo doesn't necessarily win you the game. Sharks had it put together a couple of times against Imperial, but it didn't really pan out for them in the end. So sometimes it's just going for the better lineup that wins you games.
This is a good
Dire
Knicks
team
game.
pick.
This is a very good Knicks game. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, I'm wondering, is with the Knicks on the board, is it still possible to do a Mambos on Faceless Void? He had a good game against Division against
10
it.
seconds
They kind of got their
remaining.
backs to the wall here. They're one game from elimination. Would they go with something like that again,
5 seconds
or
remaining.
is Knicks too much of a threat?
I think that
Reserve time.
I don't know if they're going to go with the Faceless Void. I think it can definitely help with the OD, but the sniper's going to be pretty far away from the fight, and a lot of these heroes aren't necessarily going to be like ganging up all around each other. So I don't know if the Chronosphere is going to be too much of a factor this match. You can still do a lot of things inside of it, and the OD is going to be strong, but I think that you can still go with something a little bit different than a Faceless Void here and have it be effective.
That's an option. They did well with it
Radiant
against Division. They're going to try it again.
Yeah,
Let's
IO
see.
and PA. It's a pretty good pairing there. Gives some move speed over.
Yeah. The I don't know if you want to call it a poor man's bloodlust, but it's pretty much we let's just put it this way:
10
we have
seconds
some
remaining.
sort of equivalent of a damage booster on each team. You just
5
need to make
seconds
sure
remaining.
the IO stays alive longer, because the Over can get a spell off and then die, and then he's still contributing to the
Reserve
fight with the
time.
bloodlust after the fact. So there's actually, IO with a low hit point pool, the lowest strength gain in the game, I think, next to Alchemist. He's got to watch himself against those assassinations from Sniper at the last second too. Possibly, I mean, Slash Strike will probably be thinking about doing something like an imprisonment when they know it's coming, just to save the day, kind of thing. I don't think you can nightmare friendly heroes, can you?
Dire team ban.
You can Nightmare Friendly heroes.
Oh well, in that case, they don't have a whole lot to worry about then.
You just put a Nightmare on IO and then Sniper can't do anything. It's great.
It's like we started talking about MVP Phoenix, and it's like Imperial were kind of like, yeah, that's a thing.
10
Let's just go ahead and
seconds
take care of that.
remaining.
You get the Spirit Breaker out of the way with the PA. That is a pretty nice combo
5
with them, though.
seconds
And
remaining.
Sharks they seem to be more comfortable with the run at you strat than anything.
Reserve time.
Yeah, possibly. I still think that Imperial are probably going to out aggression Sharks. They have a couple of heroes that are fairly tanky. I think the PA does match up well against the Sniper, and so does the Bane, really. Can kind of get in close. Yeah, I think the PA really is just picked up to deal with the Sniper.
Radiant
I think it's going to
team
be doing maybe a little bit of work here if Imperial don't really pay attention to the fact that their Sniper is getting gone, because a Phantom Assassin could just work right through the Sniper. But if there's any kind of support around him, I think that the PA is going to be in a ton of trouble.
10 seconds remaining.
Makes me wonder with the Knicks running around, how often are they willing to commit Ravage
5 seconds
as a
remaining.
deterrent to the Knicks? Like maybe use it once or twice, like early on, just as a
Reserve
one-man
time.
gank against Knicks, and knowing that that's going to be a thing. Maybe they just try to take the Knicks player off their game and make it a little bit harder for him to want to get in the way he wants to. I wonder if that's going to be a thing, if they're going to try that or not. But how to deal with well, magical damage would be great for magical damage would be absolutely fantastic for Imperial. More of that, please. Eventually, they're going to get a BKB on Sharks, but that's okay. It's going to run out of charges eventually. It's going to run low, but their physical damage looking pretty good. They got Blur, they've got the Anchor Smash, and they've got the Kraken Shell. The only real vulnerable person here seems to be Io, unless the Nyx gets a hold of someone solo.
Io or possibly the Bane if the Bane is stunned out or something. Maybe Nyx Assassin gets an early Dagon, can take the Bane down there. But yeah, the Io definitely should be in some trouble. Everyone else on Sanguine Shark should be pretty tanky.
All right, they're going to show it. They're like, okay, we're going to show you how to play a Luna. So, feeling pretty confident with this. You got a little bit extra damage bonus. Their ability to push is not too bad. They're both teams. Actually, there's not a whole lot of huge ults. It's just the Eclipse. Everything else is less than 2 minutes. A little more on the big ult side for Sharks. You got the Sanity's Eclipse and the Relocates. No, it relocates pretty quick. So it's mainly about the Ravage and the Eclipse. And if those are down, Imperial are just gonna keep coming at you.
Yeah, they could, but Bane and Io both have pretty short cooldowns, so I think a Fiend script can still be pretty scary if you're not able to get the stun off.
10
All right.
seconds remaining.
So who do you think's got the better draft here?
I'm still gonna have to go for Imperial. I think they
5 seconds remaining.
I got a lot of faith in the sniper. I think that he's going to be showing us a couple things that we ain't never seen before. And I'm definitely really excited to see the sniper play. It's not a hero you get to see generally. Back in the 6.83 days, he was all the rage, but now he's kind of been swept to the shadows. Hopefully, he'll be able to peek out a little bit this match.
As long as you got plenty of frontliners, Sniper is fantastic. And with this, it's pretty decent. You don't have a fantastic number. The Ogre can watch you back. The Luna can charge in with the Eclipse to kind of save the day. The Nyx can kind of come out of nowhere, and he's got pretty decent regen. So, and they do have mechanics to keep people away from the Sniper with, say, the Glimpse and the Kinetic Field, and a solid number of stuns all around. So this shouldn't be the hardest Sniper game in the world for him. It would be a mid Sniper on Baby Knight from what we're seeing here. What people are picking. Ace will take the Luna. And I guess I'll just finish up the... I guess I'm starting a starting lineup, so I might as well finish it up here. So Noya is going to take the Ogre Magi. And Baby Knight on the Sniper. We got Rise on the Ruptor this time. And Joe, who I would pretty much call the MVP of last game with those beautiful shackles and follow-ups and the ability to keep Slash Strike in check, is going to be taking the Nyx this time.
And meanwhile, for Sharks on the Dire, we've got a Bane being handled by Sani, just kind of laughing up in the sky again. We've got an OD. It's going to be on the mid lane, played by Slash Strike. Io, going to be handled by Solari, otherwise known as Celery. Got a PA, looking pretty nice with the Arcana. It's going to be Mambos. And then finally, the offlane Tidehunter will be played by Dale.
Pretty. I went to, I guess you say what's it called? Just when you zoom in on someone, the profile version of them.
Showcase view.
And it just went straight. Yeah, it just went straight to right into the helmet of Tidehunter with his mouth wide open. It was pretty awesome. But all right, so let's see. First blood went to Imperial last game, I believe. So let's see. And I believe first 10 kills. I mean, Imperial were just pretty much taking them to town after about the 15-minute mark. So Shark's gonna have to basically playing a little more in their comfort zone here with the PA, as well as Solari, which we normally see on, say, a position 4. I don't know if Senny's going to be doing... Yeah, it looks like Senny's going to be doing the 5 stuff. So if there's going to be any gear, any heal items or anything, it's going to be on Solari before anything else. Ace is going to get a ward out. Let's see if he's going to put it in a more safer spot. I'm really happy that they, like a while ago, maybe a half a year ago, whenever it was, they nerfed the spawn camp range of this small camp down here in the Radiant Jungle. It's just it's just so easy to ward it, and it took so many resources to counter ward it. And that's back when taking out wards really didn't give you money. And I think it was, for a while, it was less money. So I'm just happy to see that as a support. Support life, unfortunately. I did just have 1,000 gold per minute spend game, though. That was...
I don't play support.
They're going to go in. 4-on-4. Heads up. This is just... They just charge at each other like it's Braveheart or something. Mambo's taking a lot of damage here. We're going to get an imprisonment that's going to isolate Noya. Trying to get back up the river, but Mambos is taking so much damage. Another tether, trying to keep the regen going. Solari needs to get in front. Needs to get in front of these guys and try and do some, well, quote-unquote, celestial blocking, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to get first blood in Mambos. They will counter with another kill on Joe, but this is still looking for... Oh, wow. Noya's actually kind of caught out. Looks like they thought they were done, but a turnaround by Sharks with an imprisonment. It's 3-on-1. Senny's trying to come in and help out a little bit more. We got Brain Sap, but that's not going to save him at all. That's going to be 2 kills for the Sharks, so it looks like Imperial got a little overconfident and started moonwalking back to their base a little too soon.
Yeah. The Tidehunter really was trying to get around there, and he was chasing for a while, and then, oh, Disruptor just goes down to get back to base faster. Yeah, it was a pretty long level 1 fight, and, you know, both teams kind of had to work around the positioning a lot. Sniper was pretty low. I don't think he didn't end up going down there. It was actually an assist that he got, so pretty interesting from both teams, but we'll just settle back into the laning phase right now.
And speaking of laning, Joe already has a Talon, and they pretty much know he's going to be gone soon, but so Cindy's just trying to send him packing as fast as possible with the Brain Sap, but looks like he's going to make him pay for his efforts at least, firing back and forth. This is the wrong Arachnid to not have Caustic Finale right now. You can chase him down. But looks like we're done here. Looks like Noise is going to come back to mid. It's 2-on-2 in mid here. Baby Knight kind of up in the front lines here. But Noise there to watch his back. Things going pretty well for Ace's last hits up there, though. No problems whatsoever. He is free farming once again. 12 last hits at 2 minutes. Another collision for this top rune coming up in about 2 seconds. We're going to get the sap off. Joe will pick up the rune. Get a 2-man impale with the follow-up. Noea should be able to run this down. And Solari will get knocked out. Spike Carpus does come out and buy some time. He does make it back uphill. And it's 3-on-2. Senny in trouble. Baby Knight firing away. Gets the Brain Sap to buy more time. Splitting it out. Mambos might actually go down too because he's caught under the shrapnel. But fortunately, his sacrifice from his teammate is enough to get him away. Oh, nice turnaround there. That was a huge collision over just a rune. Rise, though, meanwhile, picks up an Invis rune and can set up the next kill, which is about to arrive in a few seconds in mid. It's actually Sendy coming in. And it's going to be suddenly 3-on-1. It's like, okay, this was... like, anybody get that bottom rune while we were up there? Nope, okay. Well, he was going to... The Brain Sap is doing a lot of work, even at level 1. It's a huge mana cost for 90 hit points, but keeping him alive, Mamo's going to dive in and immediately get out with the help of Solari. And Sendy, oh no, too far again. Too far yet again. Ignite, slowing him down, doesn't make it up the steps. But Noya's in trouble too.
Being man
God,
mode.
Jesus. Baby Knight hammering away on Solari, but Mambo's coming back in. All of the both mids are going to... Oh, God, they kill each other. Oh, sweet Jesus. 3 kills per minute already. That's the CIS Euro Dota I'm used to seeing. So, let's take a look at the kills. Let's kind of wrap all that up here. 5 kills that Baby Knight has been on and has only died once. Mambos, on the other hand, has been on 3 and died twice. A little bit worse. Even, yeah, my dog's not... Like, my dog's a Sharks fan, too, apparently.
Oh, man. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he wants to go outside. He's hungry, too. Oh, buddy. Someday, one day I will feed you. But this is not that day. Alright, so take a look here. 4 minutes. Are we going to see another massive collision over a rune? Nope, just about done here. Solari picks up a DD in a bottle. A DD in a bottle. Too bad you can't give DD to whoever you're tethering.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That would be kind of broken, actually.
Very broken. First ban IO every time. Baby Knight's still holding the high ground, no problem. We're under night vision right now, so it's for Mamos and Solari to find those dagger strikes and get in there the way they want to. Baby Knight always getting the slow out. Oh man, Solari's just like, come on, I got you. Come on, keep him the tether at max range here. Let's go. And gets him back up. Pulls him back up with the rope. Dale has returned to the off lane just to save the tower and get some free experience because we got a free farming ace over here. That's literally like a time bomb ticking. 5 minutes he's going to pick up level 6 in his Eclipse. And might get to work on Dale here. He's going to pick up level 6 amidst this creep wave right here. But reinforcements come in. Slash strike. Oh, they weren't expecting Slash. Glimpsed him right back to the tower though. See you later. Nice job by Rise.
Yeah, that's a disruptive play.
Level 1 Glimpse still doing some serious work. Wow. Despite the fact that Baby Knight has been on so many kills,
Dire's bottom tower is
Slash
under
Strike is
attack.
still holding higher on the net worth. As far as Ace versus Slash Strike, it's about even in the last hit column too. Despite the fact the Glimpse actually kind of, if that didn't pan out, then Slash Strike would pretty much be stuck down bottom and wouldn't get as much farm. So on the bright side, the Glimpse did send him right back into farmland.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he's probably not too unhappy about it. Let's see, the tide didn't go down, so that was fine. Might go down here with the wraparound, though.
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower
Eclipse
is
is
under
up.
attack.
Oh man. Oh, Dale. He's like, I wish I'd stayed in the jungle. They know he's cutting trees down. Nobody's looking for him, but here comes reinforcement. Senny comes in, but cancels the TP. Solaria's here. Mambos is here. It's 3-on-4. I don't think they want to take this without Senny, who is currently up top still, looking out for Slash Strike. So again, you know, that's not the worst. You know, nobody dies, but not a huge waste. Both sides still getting plenty of farm. Oh no. No. Nice play with the Spike Harpist forcing out the stun.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that imprisonment. It does make it really easy to set up the Carpus if you just walk into it without. You've seen that before. And again, Baby just free farming, keeping pace. We've got a pretty big lead as far as mid versus mid. About an 800 gold swing here. This is not looking good for Mambos.
Yeah, he should be fine though. I mean, he's got an IO to buff him up. He's gonna be getting his farm pretty soon. I mean, he is up against a sniper who's doing fairly well, and they did give a lot of kills over him. Currently, Baby Knight is 2-1-3, so he's looking pretty good right now. But yeah, the PA is gonna have to really be relying on the IO to help him out here.
And they're still giving him oh no. Oh, just taunting him with that assassinate. Realize he got healed up enough. It's 225. Sorry, 320 minus magic resistance and stuff. So he canceled it. Honestly, you could just keep doing that over and over and just literally play mind games with them. Mambos will get the phase boots soon. They're coming out right now. Is that like the once he gets coup de grace right here? I mean, is that oh boy?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
he's gonna dive
he
in. Oh no,
creep.
third part, keeping him going. Or actually, the magic stick. He has 3 hit points to his name right now. Had to go back through the shrapnel, and here comes Dale. He gets a payback for his friend. Nice rotation there. It will force out. It's more of a deterrent, kind of just look out because we could use Ravage at any time. We won't just save it for a team fight. We could use it at any time. So the next time it's up, it's going to be a huge deterrent for Imperial.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, right now they're just pushing in on the tier 2 tower though. It's looking like a really difficult game for Sharks just because of that bloodlust and how fast Imperial can push this in. You're gonna be getting a lot of gold from the tower, and with the Ravage being down, I don't know if Imperial are too worried about anybody coming in here.
That's true. And we're looking at about, you know, like a 20-ish%, give or take a few percent, 20-ish% bonus that Ace is pumping out on just his attack speed, plus the Eclipse, plus the Lucid Beam. Yeah, the fact that Sharks know that Eclipse is up, going to be a bit of a problem right here. We have 2 Eclipses actually. Sandy's Eclipse as well,
Dire's
which
middle
hasn't been
tower
skilled
is
yet.
under attack.
Should be picking it up around level 8. There are some big olds to worry about, but quasi drow strat with the extra bonus damage seems to be doing the job.
Is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Sorry, I got a couple of things to worry about, but yeah, Imperial's still going for some nice pushes down the lanes though. And
Yep, they're giving.
Sharks are just so like on the back foot when they don't have their ultimates up. They don't have one on the Bane yet. He's still at level 3 at 9 minutes into the game. We've got Tidehunter. I mean, he's just waiting for his ultimate cooldowns, which when that's down, Imperial, they're just happy to push in lanes. That's what they're going to excel at. They've got the sniper to do it from very far away, and Bloodlust's helping them all out.
Dire's middle tower
Vendetta's coming off cooldown too, so Joe's about to go make a play behind this tower. I don't think they see him yet. No, they don't. No, without the Ravage.
Radiant's top
They're at
tower
least
is
pulling
under attack.
everything up, and nice job at least using the space in the other lane. Mambos and Senny are going to at least push this up. They'll force Baby Knight back. Baby Knight back.
Gotta get the baby night back ribs.
Mm.
I haven't had ribs
I'm
for
sitting
a
here
while.
munching. I'm sitting here munching on a dry bagel, now I'm thinking about ribs.
Oh gosh, that sounds actually terrible. I'm glad you're getting food though. That's good.
Yeah, Senny, we'll pick up level 4. Currently, the only one under 1K. Literally rocking the 100 gold per minute. But hey, unfortunately,
That was
before he
Nyx
can pick up.
assassin.
Yeah, that was. You just got nixed basically, but wow, it's just so. Having it's not too often you see in the competitive circuit where you see support so far behind, and it's worth mentioning we don't have relocate at 10 minutes in, and Solari kind of needs that. He's more of an aggressive roamer type person, kind of like Lizard, only less trolly. Gale, on the other hand,
Pretty cool, though.
Is under attack.
Ravage is picked up, and we got about a triple stack that he's farming right here, just to help give Solari what he needs to get to level 6, actually, right here. So he just, right as I say that, they get a nice stack of Ancients. Slash Strike, get out of here, you're stealing XP. But, yep, that should give it to him, just shy. But that did give space up top.
Has fallen.
Yeah, it gives some space up top to get the tower over. Still, the Bane, with all these deaths, 3 deaths at 11 minutes, it's really hard for the Bane to find levels anywhere on the map. Sitting at level 4, oh my gosh, and the Nyx Assassin's going to find him again.
No, Senny. I really feel for anybody in this position at this point. He's still not level 4, God. Someone said in the chat, assassinating an assassin.
He's
That's
dead.
4 asses. Oh, in midair. Oh. Joe is, well, I don't know who was trying to get the kill more on that one.
Scan a little bit too late.
All right, so Rise does have, okay, we haven't seen a Static Storm yet in this game, but we will soon.
Radiant's bottom
By the way, if you guys are
tower is
watching
under
in-game, you
attack.
can join us on twitch.tv/Kairos Commentary. Whole bunch of, apparently there's like 4 different casters casting in this particular game right here. The field is narrowing down and all the casters converge like
Radiant's
ravens.
bottom tower is under attack.
Just any scraps we can find at this point, anything that's left over.
Yep, we're just happy to do it. Happy to cover the teams.
Yeah, it's good times. Okay, we got Blink now.
Radiant structures
Gale's got
are
Blink.
fortified.
And Imperial just kind of like freewheeling their way
Radiant's
through
bottom tower
their,
is under attack.
the other side of the map. Sharks need to punish this type of behavior or else it's just going to continue. Sunny, though, it's just like, oh, it's level 5. Come on, give it to me. But Ace is there to answer. Still got Eclipse up. There's always that deterrent, too. There's every single like big ult is up, and that's a huge deterrent for both teams. You decide want to fight in, no one wants to fight in a Ravage, and by the same token, no one wants to fight into the Eclipse. Because honestly, I think Imperial have a little bit better advantage there because, Baby Knight could stay out of. I mean, he's got level 3 on the take aim. He can pretty much stay out of all the big ult range now. They just play their cards right, and their positioning has been great.
Yeah, he's got take aim level 3 as well as the Dragonlance, so he's going to be pretty far away. As long as his position is good, yeah, he should be fine. Also the Bloodlust. I cannot harp on this enough. Both attack speed and move speed, which is good for the positioning. Making it definitely okay for Sniper to be having a little bit lower of move speed with the power treads.
Do you think it's too risky to try a relocate gank right now with the vision that we have here, or do you think Sharks need to just go ahead and try it anyway, just to kind of like enforce a little bit more map control?
They definitely could. They need some more levels on the Bane. Generally, I think the combo is just Fiend's Grip into a relocate, but I mean that's kind of hard when you don't have Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, it is a good setup. And so looks like they want to. Oh, nice pick off on the courier. Looks like, oh man, Joe's having a great series in general. Fighting for MVP of this game too. He was on the Windy with the 4-staff last game. Pulled off a huge shackle at the last second at the very end, way up here. Pulled off a huge shackle shot on Slash Strike, just about to TP out, and kind of just started crushing their morale, rolling downhill from there with that kill.
Well, at least
No,
Sharks are
Sharks
gonna
will
get a
get
little
a
bit of
tower.
Radiant's
Yep.
bottom
They're
tower
still very far behind right now. It's over a 5,000 net worth lead for Imperial right now. It just feels like Imperial push a lot better as a team. I wouldn't even say that Sharks are too terribly far behind, except for the Bane. Really needs to get to level 6, but the fact is that Sharks lineup is just not really hitting where it's supposed to right now. It's not necessarily an outdraft at this point. It's just out execution by Imperial.
And it's worth mentioning, because of that, they now have a 2 to 3 level advantage between cores of the opposing team, which they can use to make this even worse. Dale's going to come out with a Ravage, catches one, well, catches Ace too, and it catches their Alpha Wolf, and they're going to go ahead and get Rise. Here comes the, beautiful, it's a beautiful Carpus, kind of, all those AoEs kind of punishing him for it. So Larry looks like he's caught in the woods. Yep, he's gone. So that's a 2 for 1 on a gank attempt, and that's going to put Ace over quad 7s in the net worth column 3 down. And this is looking grim for Sharks right here at this point. They're even further behind on the levels, which can't be overlooked. And they just,
Radiant's bottom tower
I mean,
is under attack.
raindrops would have been great. I keep harping on raindrops a lot, but just seems like such a quick alternative, a quick band-aid to some of this magical burst damage that they're dealing with.
Yeah, Imperial, they're just... At times, they tend to catch out Sharks a little bit better. Tidehunter really feeling the pressure there. He even had his Blink Dagger. Didn't even use it, though, when he was going for that Ravage. He took a little bit of damage there. Honestly, as soon as you see the Luna there, you just should probably blink right on top of her and use the Ravage, because if you're this far behind, that's really the best you're going to get. You get a 2-person Ravage. Actually, I think at the time they knew it was... It might have been possibly 2 with the Sentry Ward that they had down, but still, just to Ravage onto a Luna at that time is definitely extremely valuable.
Tell you what, care to do some play-by-play while I get my dog here?
Oh, sure. I'll just
Have at it.
help out a little bit there. So Nyx goes to the high ground, gets the blink up there. Tidehunter is going to Anchor Smash, and Imperial, they're going to be disengaging right now. Roshan's still available, so they definitely have a couple of ways that they can go about this. Bane at bottom. Oh no, Sniper with the Shadow Blade. He should be finding the Bane. He needs the vision from it. He's going to use the Assassinate. Bane just uses the Nightmare on himself, trying to get up, but the stun is going to come through by the Nyx. And Baby Knight finishes off that kill with the help of his good friend, the Nyx Assassin. The Nyx Assassin. All about that life. Still a Roshan up, and with the Luna, I think that Imperial definitely could take it down fairly well. You've also got the Bloodlust handed out by the Ogre Magi. He's good at tanking this as well. So they could go for the big guy. But Luna really just wants to clear some of this Ancient stack right now. It's got a lot of creeps in there. And she's going to be getting a lot of gold from this basically on her own. Hurricane Pike, Helm of the Dominator, giving her more than enough. Enough of the damage and lifesteal that she needs for this.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, cool. So nothing
what a
happened. Literally nothing.
Okay.
Maybe the OD
Well.
dies now. Oh my gosh. It's like
Oh no, slash. You got struck down. It seems like Sharks are on full tilt here at this point. One-man push all the way up against the tier 1 tower, and then getting ganked in response. It seems pretty tilty.
Yeah, I mean, the OT, they just really want to create space somewhere on the map right now. And Imperial aren't really letting them do that. They've got a Nyx Assassin going around the map. He's being very strong right now.
Radiant's
I
top
can look for a little bit of vision on that, but maybe they get a glimpse here.
Oh man, Mambos. He does make it around the tower. Oh god, made it around that little beautiful impale by Joe. Yet again, another catch in this tree line.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
Double crits, man.
Nice burst though. Nice burst though. Took Rise with him, but yep, that's a dead Mambos. That's a dead PA with rocking under half of the net worth of Ace at this point. This is just looking very grim. We got a Hurricane Pike. We could go pretty close to a Satanic soon if you want to. Probably a BKB most likely. No, it was just like, yeah, I'll join in. I got a medallion coming. I'll join in on this. Roche is wide open too.
Imperial, they're just... Look at this Luna. Look at the 3,600 gold that she has. They're just super far ahead right now, and they continue to be that way with the additional towers that they keep picking up. They get a few kills around the map. They're really just choking Sharks out of this one. Sharks do have some vision around. It's mostly on the the bottom side of the map, and I mean, Imperial, they are at their leisure to do whatever they want right now. They still have that roast up that they can take. A should be able to pick this one up fairly easily and then go for that high ground, which when we look at the Sharks lineup, it's okay at high ground defense, but I think that Imperial are just very good at their long range siege as well.
Yeah. Is there any particular, aside from what probably is going to be a BKB on Ace coming out here very soon, any particular items they need to finish high ground, or do you think they got more than enough to deal with it right now?
That's a really tough question. I think that Sharks, they do have some tools. They're getting that smoke out here. It's very close to getting broken by the Knicks. Maybe you find
It's getting
someone.
broken in. It's getting broken in just the right spot too. Like as their whole team is still cut off from their base, they're gonna catch him out in the woods. This might be GG right here if this doesn't work out for him. Gets a two-man crush. Baby Knight just shrugging it off. This little dwarf just tanking everything. Eclipse gonna blow up their PA. Sandy's Eclipse does a little bit of damage, but just not enough. They're just gonna follow up, and that's pretty much everybody dead. They don't even have buyback money for this kind of thing. Sandy will be the fourth to go down, and wow, that was a horrible way to have your smoke broke. Getting caught out from your own base against Aegis.
Io did everything that he could just to get some vision of the Knicks there, but I mean, his observer was a little bit off.
I'm going in with my bros. Screw it. Okay, that's it. Yeah, good game called. 21-minute game, dominating performance by Imperial, and they will move on to the finals, and we'll find out who they're going to be playing very soon. I believe Pythian is going to be taking the main cast spot for that, and I'll be riding shotgun with him. So look forward for his play-by-plays for the grand finals. Any final thoughts on this series?
Definitely congratulations to Imperial coming one step closer to make it into the regional qualifier, where if they do make it, they're definitely going to be making a couple of waves there. You very close when you get into this tier of teams. So I'm definitely interested in seeing Imperial continue to try to play their best Dota, very aggressive, and you can definitely see how demoralizing it can be for teams as they try to play against this juggernaut of a Danish team.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure when it's so much on the line. It looks like Imperial are pretty good at manipulating that kind of thing. So, by the way, you can reach PythianLegume at PythianLegume on Twitter and at PythianLegume on Twitch.tv. And you can reach me, Kairos, at Kairos_casting on Twitter. I will be tweeting as soon as we figure out who Imperial is going to be going up against, and we'll see you then.